Thanks to our military and our allies and the brave fighters of Afghanistan, the Taliban regime is coming to an end. Yet our responsibilities to the people of Afghanistan have not ended. We work for a new era of human rights and human dignity in that country.
Most people will likely remember why it started.
And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
A demand to the Taliban, turn over Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda, unanswered. A few weeks later, a massive bombing campaign along with a small force of around 1,000 Special Forces soldiers and CIA agents, combined with the Northern Alliance in Afghanistan. And the Taliban fell within months. The U.S., along with its allies, turned to nation building with big promises of lessons learned.
We know this from not only intelligence, but from the history of military conflict in Afghanistan. It's been one of initial success, followed by long years of floundering and ultimate failure. We're not going to repeat that mistake.
Critics say that's exactly what happened as the U.S. turned more attention to the war in Iraq. The U.S. announced an end to major combat operations in Afghanistan in 2003. A constitution was written, elections followed, a new president, a new legislature, with women taking positions of power. But as the years passed, cracks in the coalition. And as the Taliban fought back and civilian casualties mounted along with that of the armed forces, opinion turned. A new U.S. president had to make a decision, go bigger or go home.
Our overarching goal remains the same.
U.S. President Barack Obama decided to send an additional 17,000 troops, then 30,000 more. By 2010, around 100,000 U.S. troops would be in Afghanistan. In May of 2011, Osama bin Laden was found and killed in Pakistan. But the war continued. Obama promised to bring most U.S. troops home by the end of 2016, and then a new U.S. president took over.
A hasty withdrawal would create a vacuum that terrorists, including ISIS and al-Qaeda, would instantly fill.
President Trump announced an open-ended deployment, but eventually signed a deal with the Taliban. If they promised to keep out terrorist groups and not attack U.S. troops, a full withdrawal would happen by May of 2021. But then yet another new U.S. president was sworn in. And President Joe Biden decided to keep the deal and leave only a small troop presence. He said the Taliban would not immediately take over. He was wrong, sending in more than 5,000 troops to hastily evacuate the embassy. Now growing questions of what will happen to the women and girls of Afghanistan. 20 years of bloodshed and battles, of promises and of unimaginable pain, of encouraging signs and setbacks, 2 decades of war, and still questions of what was won amid so much that was lost.
What's going on, everyone? It's Nina Infinity. Welcome to this Wednesday night edition of Breaking the Narrative with my good friend, John Talks. How are you, John?
I'm doing well. I was expecting, it's funny because I was expecting the intro for Infinite Talk to play.
I know,
like,
right?
Oh, this is kind of nice. I like this.
I know.
You did a good job on that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been weird because like I was thinking about Infinite Talk. I was like, well, I invited him for Breaking the Narrative, but we have Infinite Talk, and then it's kind of weird that we're doing Breaking the Narrative, but it's fine because I'm like, whatever. You're like a guest. You're not the actual host on this one.
Yeah, I didn't have to do any homework. I just
No,
showed
you
up.
don't.
So.
Yeah, no, there's no homework or anything like that. You don't have to actually contribute other than your opinions. But it's really good to see you. It's been a while, so I'm happy that you're here. For anyone in the chat that doesn't know you, which would be ridiculous if they don't, please let everyone know who you are and where they can find you.
My channel is John Talks, and I just make silly political videos. And I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. I see pretty much nearly all familiar faces. So it's good to see all of you. I'd say hello to everybody, but I'm going to wind up missing someone. So
I know, right? There's so many people here. Everyone is always hitting me up about you too. So like, there's a lot of people. I saw another monster here, like when I just posted the thing, like, oh my God, is John coming back? Really? John's here. So like everyone's here and loves you. And I constantly get, messages about you. How is John? Is John okay? And
Nina's like, he's alive.
He's good.
I'm like, videos are still coming out. So
exactly. The coconut sends us a $1.49 super sticker. I don't know what it is though. What is it? It's a popcorn. It's popcorn. Yes. Grab your popcorn. Grab your drinks. This is gonna be a good night. We got Stephen Otten here. Oh yeah. Do all that too, because it's gonna get spicy. Stephen, thank you so much for the $2 and your membership. Says, hail Nina, John Talks, Love Wrenches, and the chat. Thank you so much for that, Stephen. And then we had Zen Master Me. Thank you so much for the 99-cent super sticker. What is it? It is a sunglasses one, because we used to wear sunglasses all the time together.
Ah, I do have mine handy.
There we go. There.
And what's up, Stephen? Good to see you. Zen Master Me, good to see you as well. Thank you, Miss Martin Muses.
There she is. Yes, she sends us a $5. We heart John Talks with bunch of roses. We do. Everyone loves John. That
almost makes me want to do the. I'll do it. It just seems so awkward.
That's so cute that John did that, you guys. I've never seen him do that before, ever.
It's a breakthrough.
Wow. I know. That was so cute.
To what? I don't know. Well, speaking of breakthroughs, do you hear about the breakthrough? They're calling them breakthrough infections.
Oh,
usually breakthrough is a good thing, right? I guess they're trying to put a positive spin on it somehow.
I didn't hear about this.
Well, if you got the jab, and then you got COVID again, that's what's called a breakthrough infection. Like, I guess the idea is it broke through that protective vaccine bubble. It's like it broke, like the layer of protection broke.
When condoms break, that's never fun.
That's what I was referring. Yeah, I was implying.
I know, but COVID. I don't like the implications, so I'll just come out and say it.
Sure. Why? I was trying to keep it PG.
Nah. Why sugarcoat it, John? Why? We told everyone to put their kids to bed so we can talk.
It's true. I need to get that clip. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, totally. That would be a good clip. Hey, Bruce, good to see you. Half his hospital is vaccinated. People who are suffering worse. It's good to see you, man. But yeah, so we got lots to talk about. John, by the way, everyone, the link for John's channels are in the description. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and his Twitter's in there as well, so give him a follow. He's awesome. I'm gonna start by kind of just going through. I can't see anything with these glasses. Kind of start by going through some of this Afghanistan stuff, because it's been kind of crazy over there, and we haven't really talked since since this all went down. So what are your thoughts? Like, what's going on with what do you think about all of this?
Joe Biden's pullout game sucks. No, I mean, here's the thing. He needed to. I think we can all agree. We should not be there. We need to eventually get out of there. I think the biggest issue is, and I'm sure many people in the chat, and of course, the American public has made it known when it comes to Joe Biden's approval numbers, that they disagree with the way he went about it. It's not that he decided to pull the troops out, but it's just the haphazard lack of logistical planning that was the biggest issue of all. And for him to say that there wasn't a way that this was going to turn into complete crap show is just ludicrous. He insults everybody's intelligence. If he would just admit and say, we underestimated the Taliban, their power. We thought that we had, plenty of time to get our people out and our allies out. We just didn't realize they were going to take over as fast as they did. At least that would be in line with what he had said before when it came to the Taliban. It's just like, stick to what you at least were saying. Be consistent. But instead, he wants to pretty much try to paint this picture of like, yeah, this was all just going to happen no matter what. And it's like, no, the reason it happened is because you didn't plan properly for the Taliban in case the Taliban were going to take over as fast and as swiftly as they did. So, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of what I think about it. And I agree. We need to get out. I think
I agree. I mean, I agree with you too. My opinions on the war. That I've always thought that you guys shouldn't be there to begin with. Like, it's been an illegal war based on basically nothing. And it's not like the whole WMDs thing with the Iraq war, and then of course going to the Afghanistan. That this whole war has been a complete shit show from the start to now finish. You guys could have had a better ending to this, at least in terms of what's going on with American lives, especially the soldiers that were killed very recently, and also all the people who are remaining there. There's a lot to be said about all that. Like, in this video that I'm showing right now, this is all basically what happened was dozens of vehicles and Black Hawk flyover. Taliban holds military parade in Kandahar showing off seized US-made weapons. So they actually had a parade where they were showing off all the different things that they have seized from the takeover. This stuff is actually crazy to see this happen. It is quite... There are no words, really.
We handed over, I believe it was 85. If I remember what, I forgot who said it. I think he's a congressman, but I believe it was somewhere along the lines of $85 billion of military equipment to the Taliban. That is insane.
Yeah.
They are more equipped. I believe the gentleman said they are more equipped just in Black Hawk helicopters than 85% of like every other country out there. We have created a monster, and this is negligence. This stuff should have been destroyed, bombed, or I don't know what the plan. There was no plan.
There was no plan.
Joe Biden did not take into account, and his military advisors did not take into account the variables here. They underestimated their opponent, and they got their asses handed to them. And we're supposedly the superpower of the world. And what are we going to do to get this stuff back? Doesn't seem like we're going to do anything.
Well, does it? Because there is a bunch of people who think that you guys are going to go back, just like what happened with Iraq.
Joe doesn't want those optics. He's the guy who ended the war. The last thing he wants to do is start another war. And
do you think, is it possible that maybe by a certain date, like let's say Christmas-ish. I don't know when your midterm elections is. When's the midterms?
I believe it's October, right?
Okay. So let's say by around that time, or maybe even later, like maybe a little bit after the midterms.
Well, we're talking next year.
Next year. Do you think it's a possibility that they basically finally kind of get rid of Biden, put Kamala in power, and then have Kamala go in, so that Joe Biden's presidency will be like, well, he ended it, but then, well, somebody has to do something. So here's Kamala. Like, I don't know.
Unless something happens to him, I don't see him stepping aside.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him stepping down for cognitive issues or whatever. And obviously that, I believe, is going to come in to question the further on we get into his presidency. People are going to keep on bringing it up, and perhaps eventually maybe he'll have to take a test. I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna take a test. Yeah,
I don't think he will either.
I don't think he's gonna. We have John Burns here. Thank you so much for the $5, John. We got a lot to talk about actually tonight with regards to what's going on in Canada and the elections coming up there, and Trudeau's comments earlier today. There's a lot of stuff that I want to cover with regards to that as well. So John Burns, thank you so much for the $5. Says Nina. The important question you need to ask is, but is there still a working Tim Hortons in Kandahar? Hi, Nina. Hi, John. And there probably, I don't know if there's a Tim Hortons, but I'm pretty sure there's a Starbucks. There's got to be a Starbucks for sure. But I don't know about Tim Hortons. I don't even know how many Canadians are left there. Trudeau hasn't said a word. Nobody said a word about the Canadian military or Canadian personnel being left back here, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. If there's any Canadians in the chat and know a number, please let me know, because I do not know what's going on with the Canadian withdrawal on our side of things. And then had the chat jump on me. Sorry. And then John Burns again for another $5 says October 6, 2015, Toyota Hilux pickups and overseas model similar to the Toyota Tacoma and Toyota Land Cruisers have become fixtures and videos of the ISIS. That is, that's just all bad. That is just all bad. Everything you just said in that was exactly. Obama did the same shit in Iraq. I agree. We've been here before. Teresa says, is it Biden or whoever is holding the puppet strings? It's absolutely whoever is holding the puppet strings. I don't know. That guy doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know. Does he, John? I don't think he knows what's going on.
I don't think he does. No, by the time he figures it out, it's too late.
Yeah. And actually, I have a very good video that somebody shared today on Twitter. Ezra Levant shared this on Twitter. And I thought this was a very interesting video because it really shows how much of a decline we're talking about when we're talking about Joe Biden. Because, okay, so this is Joe Biden has owned the Afghan mess since day one. Joe, just listening to him speak reminds you of how much his cognitive abilities have declined. And this is true. So
but the second thing is,
if we get into
listen
I'm
to
not gonna
this,
knock it because it's a policy decision you folks in the Senate have to make. But if you help the nation build, bringing in the Northern Alliance and the Pushtin, other people who are not Taliban, and the Pushtin, a large community there, which is half the country, you put them all together. And you put the ex-king perhaps in there as sort of a constitutional monarch or whatever. Don't you then have to be a constabulary force and have American GIs over there from Alabama and Arkansas defending a government against rebels because they're going to be rebels?
No, not if it's done well, and if we get lucky, because if it ends up that way, that's not going to.
That's Vietnam.
Exactly, that's not going to happen. What will happen, hopefully, is that what we'll do is provide for. For example, I just made a speech on the floor before I came over here, calling for the establishment of an international fund that is through the UN after this is over to reconstruct that area of the world, not just in terms of providing food, because look, they've had years of drought, they've had 10 years of civil war, but in terms of, for example, funding schools. Funding schools, you don't have the only schools available are these radical schools, the Wahhabi gone extreme, even beyond that. And so there's a lot of things the international community can and should do to keep this from becoming a swamp again. But and there may even be the necessity to have the UN in there with a temporary mandate.
So, I mean, he was able to put sentences together.
Oh, I mean, there's such a difference between Joe Biden just even like 5 years ago compared to where he's at right now.
It's so crazy to me that people don't actually, like the Democrats, like, are they in that much of a denial to not see this?
I think
or are they just
know.
fucking kidding themselves?
They know. They're just riding the horse. You know, he's not Trump. Mean tweets.
He's not Trump. Exactly. Mexican Iron Man, thank you so much for your membership,
hey,
Mike.
What's up, Mexican Iron Man?
So awesome. And he has a message for you for $10. Thank you so much. Says, John, where the heck have you been? Just when I got used to you streaming in the middle of the night, and then boom, you abandoned me on the side of the road like an unwanted tortilla farmer. LOL, love y'all.
Mexican Iron Man, I love you, man. Yeah, I just I was streaming quite a bit, and I didn't really, even the hour that I was doing it at, probably, I don't know, maybe it wasn't the best, but I think I just got all streamed out. So I don't know what else to say. It was like, I mean, for the past couple, I think it's probably been about 2 months where I have not, and I said I was going to do a live stream. I think the last time we hung out, and I said I didn't even wind up doing it that month. It was just like the month was over. So
honestly, time has flown by. I feel like in a way, I miss you so much, and I was like, it feels like time has slowed down, but at the same time has gone like that. Like I feel like we did Infant Talk like very, not that long ago. So it just it's really weird how that works. But I mean, like, I get that about, because I'm doing weekly live streams, so I understand. Like sometimes you just need a break. How's your summer been, by the way? Because I can see those. You've been working on those guns. I can see it. Can see an improvement.
Yeah, I don't know if they got any bigger, but I have, I'm maintaining, and I've been getting some sun. I actually got out this summer more often, so
that's good. You've been enjoying it. Then you've been out, getting some air, because you're gonna whether Michigan goes into lockdown or not. You know that really Michigan winter is gonna hit you at some point. So I'm I hope that you've been getting all the vitamin D that you can possibly get for now. But thank you so much for that $10, Mike.
Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. I appreciate it.
So cool.
Perhaps one day I will get back into like somewhat of at least a regular schedule of streaming. Maybe like a weekly. I might do my own weekly show. On top of, because we are going to get back in Infinite Talk, but I'll let Nina talk about that when we.
Well, since you brought it up, I mean, yes, we are definitely going to come back and do Infinite Talk. Like I said, soon when Michigan gets a little bit colder, so we'll figure it out. We're gonna figure out definitely probably same time Wednesdays. 10 Eastern, unless you want to go live earlier, but we'll work that out. But yes, we will be back this fall. This was just like, I had missed my friend, and I was like, you want to come hang out today? And he was like, sure. So like it just happened like that. So we're not doing technically Infinite Talk, but we are going to come back, and John is going to come back. He hasn't forgotten all you amazing people like Zelina, who's here and says they know. They do know. E-Clay is a new member. Thank you so much for that, E-Clay. You guys are awesome. Now you guys got, I'm gonna put another couple of emojis in the member thing. By the way, we're gonna get Clown Biden and something else that I saw that was really funny. But right now we have Clown Fauci and Zombie Jonathan, which is pretty awesome. And we got the good Tom King for $2 that says Biden's so weak he's a threat to national security.
He's serious. I mean,
he won't even be able to press the button. Like it's like he'll be like, what? I don't
I'm
know.
afraid he'll accidentally press it.
Or that. Oh.
He just like sets his coffee down on top of it, or
Oh my god, he thinks it's like the assistance button. It's like, oh, I need some assistance. Kamala, where are you?
come
And it's
on,
like,
man. Biden blows up the world.
oh fuck, this is too bad. Like, I mean, it's like we're laughing at it, but there's definitely some truth to this.
We have to laugh. What else are we gonna
Unless
do?
we're gonna cry.
Exactly.
Thank you, Commander Ed, for becoming a new member. Thank you guys all so much. It just warms my heart to see all these new members. And Demogenize here. Hi,
Hey, what's up, Demogeni?
Demogeni. John Detox. That's funny. John Burns, thank you so much for the $2. Says Congress is running for re-election next year. Yeah. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be really interesting. That's some interesting stuff going on. John Talks. What are you drinking tonight?
So I've got, I had water, I've got coffee, and I have, after I'm done with the coffee, after I've gotten caffeinated, then we're going to bring myself back down with a Corona here. So.
Oh, wow. He's got like he's got it all just lined up. It's like Jane. I was talking to Jane the other night on the Queen's Council, and she was like, I got tea, I got coffee, I got water, I got wine. And I was like, girl, do you have like a drink cart sitting there? Like, what is going on with you?
Well,
and she's like, I don't have to go make it then. It's all here.
As many of you know, if you watch Nina's and our live streams, like sometimes they can go 3 hours, maybe 5 hours. So
yeah,
you want to have an assortment of drinks. I also have some chocolate here.
Nice. Nice. I only have water right now. Damn. I
thought you were making a drink.
I thought about it, John. I really thought about it. And then I was
if you
like,
want to go get one at some point, I'll this is all new to me. But I think I can hold it down.
I know. It's like, is it like riding a bike? Like, you think it's, you could just pick it back up if you've been gone from it for a while?
I guess it all depends on what kind of live streaming you're doing, like how planned out you get with it. Usually a lot of times, sure, there might be a few things that I would talk about, but the stream has a life of its own. So I try to, you don't want to get everything too planned out, because sometimes, viewers take it in a completely different direction.
That's so true. There's been so many times where I've like planned out the whole show, and then people are like, no, this is where you're gonna go. And I'm like, okay,
like, check this out. It's like, oh wow, never saw that, or didn't see that.
Exactly. John Burns, thank you so much for the $2. How's Gavin Newsom doing this fall? #recall. Hey, that's a good topic. There you go, John. And John Talks. What do you think of this whole Gavin Newsom thing? So
it's getting interesting.
You think he's gonna get recalled? Do you think Larry Elder is gonna actually win it?
I would love to see that.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I hope. I think there's a very good possibility that could happen. Who knows? It's California.
Yeah, who knows?
But
the way that the media have been going after Larry Elder, though, like, I feel like they're scared. Because did you see how like his ex-wife from like ex-girlfriend from like 6 years ago came out and was like, she filed a thing about how he like beat her up while they were going out. And I was like, this was 6 years ago. Like, you couldn't, like, you have to do it now. Like, you have to come and file this now. I mean, it's kind of
against Larry Elder.
Yeah. Again, I was like, it's interesting timing. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder if somebody came to his girlfriend, said, hey, we found we found some stuff out. I don't know. So wait, was there already a report out there on this?
I saw it in the news here. Hold on. Larry Elder.
Did he have a criminal? Was this part of like his criminal record or something?
No, she just came out. Former fiance files police report alleging domestic abuse.
What if they just like give her an envelope full of cash saying, if you say this.
That's what it seems like, because it's just such a weird
So
timing.
is he saying that it didn't happen? She's lying?
Of course he's saying that.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, it says she filed a police report with the Los Angeles Police Department alleging that she was subject to several incidents of domestic abuse while living with a GOP gubernatorial recall candidate. Datig said she delivered the statement to the LAPD Wednesday, where she said she was interviewed for 2 hours by detectives in the robbery and homicide division. Datig said she broke off an 18-month engagement with Elder after he pulled a loaded gun from a nightstand during an argument in 2015. 2015. So why would you wait this long to go file a police report?
So he pulled. Did he point it at her?
Let's see. She said that out of fear and intimidation, she didn't file a police report at the time, but that she decided to make a formal report after hearing some of Elder's public statements denying the gun incident and suggesting she fabricated the account. His details, she told police, have resulted, his denial, she told the police have resulted in her receiving hostile threats on social media. It's time to draw the line, Dating said in an interview Wednesday. I'm not the one who has to come clean about my life. He is. So I don't know. It just seems like.
You know why he couldn't marry her? Scroll down.
Oh,
I know this is a typo, but you can never marry a woman with the last name Dating. I know it's Datig, but they
fucked up.
Yeah.
They gonna fucked up. Datig. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's like very
like the timing.
Interesting timing. Yeah. I mean,
it's like that Kavanaugh thing where
it totally is like that. It totally
guys
is
running
like
for the Supreme Court, and then
all of a sudden it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, this guy.
Something happened. Like, something really bad happened to me with this guy. Like,
why didn't you talk about this earlier? Or why didn't you I mean, just the timing of it. It's
just so sus. You're like, what? Seriously? I don't know about this. I don't know about this.
I wonder if I'd be curious to know, was she in financial trouble for this or something? And again, I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Who knows what happened?
Yeah, we don't know.
But
we don't know.
Like
I mean,
said,
I think everyone, especially politicians, are capable of anything. Okay, I'm not gonna put it past this guy,
Republican or Democrat.
Exactly. I'm not gonna put it past this guy that he's a woman beater or whatever. I'm just saying it's sus that she didn't, go to the police like immediately after, especially when you're like involved in that kind of thing that you have to make a police report if you want anything to ever get done. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
The thing is, you can't prove it one way or the other.
No.
So it can only really hurt him, I think.
Of course.
It's like
who's benefiting?
Once you put that thought in people's minds,
mm-hmm.
Once she tells a story, people automatically imagine, Larry taking that gun,
mm-hmm.
and the thought's been implanted.
Yep.
And so really it's more about the indecisive crowd or the crowd that's in the middle right now, whether or not they would vote for him or not.
Mm-hmm.
It might be enough for them to just push them over the edge of saying like, yeah, I'm not sure about this guy.
Exactly. Like it'll put that seed of doubt.
Exactly.
And then you're like, Commander Ed, thank you so much for the $2. Says Joe Mama Bryden will ask dial the end. Wow. I don't even know what to say.
He actually sends a call for a nuke.
Oh man. Oh my goodness.
Phone's dialing in my ass.
There's awesome one. John, you are clone John. Okay. It's not actually John.
What's up, awesome one? See. Thank you for that sexy beast comment, by the way. Appreciate it.
Oh my. Okay. I know the LA Times is like, they've gone nuts. They're like, this guy is like evil incarnate. It's
like,
just crazy.
Like a case of TDS. But
Yeah.
What would it be? LES?
Yeah, totally. They're calling him the black face of white supremacy. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
How much of a clown? Like, we're living in an absolute clown world. These people
It's so crazy. It's so crazy. But it's California, so I don't know. It's
the black white supremacists.
Yeah, the black face of white supremacy. That's a new one. John Burns, thank you so much for $2. Says Trudeau's tough on sexual harassment. # sometimes. Yeah, when he's not actually harassing people. For sure.
People in Canada hate his guts.
Oh my God, did you see that one guy that went up to him and said, "Call me fuck," as he's singing?
I hope that was a video. I hope he recorded that as a video.
I think he did. Let me see if I can find that, because that was so
I seen the video of him doing the selfie, but if you could just get that.
Oh my God.
As the selfie.
Yeah, that was amazing. And I love how the chick behind him was like, "Oh my God, did you really say that?" And she's like, "Yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They have no respect for this guy
whatsoever. No. I mean, some people do, though. Some people are still really fucking crazy over there, and that's why he's drinking that Kool-Aid. Why can't I find this? No, I like put "call me fuck" comment Justin Trudeau, and then they like auto corrected it to like "come fuck Justin Trudeau," and I'm like, no, this is terrible.
Let me see if I can find some of these videos of just people just shouting obscenities at him.
Oh, and then I saw some of that, and then the opposition leaders came out and basically like said like, you shouldn't be doing that. And I'm like, dude, you guys are the opposition leaders. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You should be happy that he's being booed. But it just goes to show that right now in Canada, the opposition is opposition in name only. Like,
what a bunch of morons.
They have the same policies as Justin Trudeau's government right now. It's actually kind of crazy. Let's see here. Why can't I find this video? I can't find it. I should have bookmarked it. Oh well. Let me see here. Orville Nation, thank you so much for the super sticker. I hope you're well, PJ. I haven't seen you in a minute. What is it? I don't know what it is. It is, what is it? Let me check real quick.
Here, what's up, Fatal?
Hey, Fatal J. I see you there, Fatal. It's a how's it going pair.
Yep.
It's like, how's it going? Hey. It's going well. I'm hanging out with John. It's the best night ever. Yay.
Good to see you, PJ.
It's all a setup, says Dwayne. Nancy's arrows in the quiver. He's her nephew. Yeah, I know he's her nephew. By marriage, though. By marriage. It's not by blood. So I don't know how much she's going to have his back. Because at the end of the day, it's not blood. Fatal J, thank you so much for the $5. Says, love you guys, miss you guys. I'm mailing Ninja Blast this weekend. Thank you both. Yay!
Awesome.
I can't wait. Fast. That's awesome. I'm so happy.
Awesome.
My mom was actually asking about that, Fatal. She was like, when is Fatal J's comic coming out? And I was like, I don't know. You should see it in the mail soon. So I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that. John Burns, thank you so much for the $2. Says, wait, Larry Elder is Clayton Bixby. Extra bell. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my God. Trudeau. Yeah, that's hey, theme park casual, huh? Hey, by the way, did you hear that? I just saw theme park and it just automatically went to Drunk 3PO. Did you see that his account got suspended on Twitter?
Yeah, what happened?
Well, he made a video and I sent it to you. Did you watch his video?
I'm sorry, I must have missed it.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna watch it because
Cool.
he mentions you by name.
Okay, I see it now.
Let's see, Drunk 3PO.
Oh, you just sent that. Well, I guess you sent it to me today, right?
I sent it to you like yesterday.
Oh, okay.
But he mentions you by name. That's why I sent it to you. Because I was like, oh, Drunk 3PO is calling out John Talks.
What'd I do?
Here it is. You're gonna find out.
I'm assuming Nina's being sarcastic.
Take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye.
I love it.
Well, you finally got your wish, didn't you? Yes, you finally did. You finally got me kicked off Twitter after 2.5 years.
So is he
Whoever you
kicked off
are, I
for
hope you're
good?
proud.
No,
hope you're happy,
suspended.
and I hope you're
7
having
days.
a big fat party, okay? Pretty sure it was someone that likes The Last Jedi. Pretty sure. Could have been a Raylo. Could have been. It could have been John Talks.
What the fuck?
Speak up, John. Speak up.
I should have watched this.
I'm just kidding. It wasn't him. But the truth is, in the email, it said I got a copyright claim for playing music in one of the tweets. And in the tweet,
I'm kind of glad
you
you
get a-
didn't watch it now because now we got a reaction video to this.
I didn't know
This
you
is
can get a
amazing.
copyright claim on Twitter.
I know this is the craziest thing I'd ever heard because so many people put
Twitter.
like TikTok videos and stuff with like music that like no one ever copyrights claims this shit. But I guess there's like a backdoor rule that they could, I guess. So somebody caught him already, but that was an amazing reaction video. That was I love it.
Like out of everybody he could have called out.
Oh, that was good. That was good. That was highly entertaining. But yeah, so
all I said was, you're welcome. I went and clicked on the tweet and the video was already deleted. So the only thing I could think of, and it was a few months ago, the only thing I could think of, unless it's something I just completely forgot, the only thing I could think of that I tweeted out that had music in it was this. Better not play the whole thing. They watching. They watching. So anyway.
But yeah, anyways, that was it. He's gonna be suspended for 7 days. But that's why I sent it to you. I was like, dude, you gotta check this out.
I mean, I do watch his videos from time to time, and I don't know why I just didn't catch that one for some reason.
It's all good. It's all good. John Burns, thank you so much for the $2. Says
So random.
With that singing voice, I'm not surprised. Has that hashtag C3PO for sure. And also gaming or what trademark for $5 says, hail beautiful Nina and John swinging by to show support. Well, thank you so much for that. That is awesome. And it's always lovely to see you here. Gaming or what? Thank you. So yeah, that was a really cool reaction video. I'm glad that I played that for you. Let's see. Next topic. We have stuff to talk about. So okay, here we go. Since we were talking Trudeau, let's talk about Trudeau a little bit. We still have some other Afghanistan stuff I want to talk about though. Okay, you know what? Let's finish up the Afghanistan stuff.
Now I just have what is it called? Lonely Whisper.
I know.
What's that song? It's by George
Careless
Michael?
Whisper.
Careless Whisper. That's it.
Yeah. Dude, I was at my friend's birthday party. We were totally drunk. And that song came on. And all I could think of was Drunk 3PO and Gina Carano. Like, and I was like, oh my God, I miss Jay. And I started talking to my friends about Drunk 3PO and Gina Carano, and they had no idea what I was talking about. And I was like, you guys don't know. You don't know this song. Like, it's just like, it sparks something within you when you hear it. It's like theirs forever. It's like now I can never listen to it again without thinking of them. He's ruined that song.
They're like, we know Drunk 3PO, but who's Gina Carano?
I know.
No, he's in the chat. What's up? What's up, Jay?
Is he there?
Yeah, he's there.
Oh. Hi, Jay.
Unless that's like a troll account, but I don't think it is.
I don't see him at all.
He says, I'm glad you played that too.
Where are you? I can't see.
If you just look at he said it's all John's fault.
Oh my God, there it is. It's all John's fault. Can you believe he didn't watch your video? I sent it to him. I was like, dude, you gotta check this out. Now you got a reaction. So that was funny.
He's gonna put that in a video now. He's like, I knew it. That's how a guilty person would react. They would say something like that.
Everybody's on to you now, John. There it is. Good to see you, Jay.
This is what you get when you mind your own business. You do your own thing. You know, just keep your head down and you're doing your work. You get accused of, I guess, copyright claiming somebody on Twitter. You know,
it's like you would never do that. It's just so out of the.
There's a code of ethics between YouTubers and, you know, I mean, for one, friends, but even if you are enemies, you don't break those rules of
Matt Yarble
striking somebody's channel or something like that. You just don't.
You just don't. There's just certain things you don't do, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to some fun stuff like Afghanistan.
He said terrible. I fell off.
I know. So this was kind of crazy.
I love you, Jay. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
There's so much bro love here. I love it. I love the broness. Romance.
Yeah, it was cool kind of getting the check out. I was living vicariously the Las Vegas experience.
Yes, I was too, like all the live streams and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I gotta actually go to one.
I know, I do too. I gotta make one in Cancun. And have everybody come to Cancun because that'll be really fun.
I don't think people would be against that.
I mean, especially in the hotel zone, everything is open. Like it's like green, so no masks and all that good stuff. So
I think I just lay on the beach the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. And then nobody
margaritas and
yes.
Even though I've never had a margarita, but
never.
No.
Really? Oh, it's so good. You'll get so drunk after like 5 sips. You'll be like, oh my God, can't see, I'm blind.
That sounds so fun.
No, that kind of happened to me the first time I had a margarita because I'd never had one.
You almost went blind?
Well, no, I was just so drunk. You get so drunk that you don't know like how drunk you're getting because it doesn't really taste like alcohol. And then you'll have like a little, because it's all like, especially if you get like high grade tequila, like mezcal or something, you'll be like, it'll just hit you. And then you'll be like, whoa. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. But I did see this other thing that I was like, I wanted your opinion on because I saw these actually 2 things. One of them was the Afghan interpreter who helped save Biden in 2008's pleads for rescue after being left behind. So that's really, really sad. Said the Afghan interpreter who helped retrieve then Senator Joe Biden from the mountains of Afghanistan in 2008 has been left behind after the U.S. withdrawal from Kabul and is reportedly now begging the White House to be rescued. Hello, Mr. President, save me and my family. The Wall Street Journal quoted the man whose name was given only as Mohammed in an exclusive report on Tuesday. Don't forget me here. Did you hear about this?
Could this be anybody though claiming that? I don't know.
That's true. I mean, it could be.
Well, I mean, for one, like Mohammed is definitely the most popular. I'm sure it's probably the most popular name there in Afghanistan and in the Middle East, and
definitely.
I think it's in the world too. It's the most popular name in the whole world. So it's kind of like
I have cousins who are named Muhammad Ali Muhammad. Like, there's like people who just named their like kids like Muhammad Ali Muhammad, and you're like,
well, even the first and middle name.
Yes.
And they're like, if we could change our last name to Muhammad, we'd do that too.
Yes,
we'd go for the hat trick.
They would.
The triple Muhammad.
The triple Muhammad.
Just call me Muhammad, not squared, but I don't even know what that would be 3 times.
I don't know.
Squared is like 2, but
the 2, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not triple. Triple. No, I don't know.
But he does have a picture, so
yeah. So I don't know. I guess he's one of these people. I don't know. I'm guessing he's the interpreter.
I guess he's you wouldn't want to provide a last name, right? Because you would just totally put a target on your head. Although if you put a picture out there, I don't know.
There's Carrie.
Yeah.
But it's just really sad. I don't know. I feel like this just like he's letting so many people down. It's kind of like unbelievable how many people he's letting down. And then there was another one that was even crazier. This one, this is from a vet.
Yeah, I guess Tim, it would be to the third power.
The third power.
Cubed.
That's cubed. Yeah. That's right.
There
we go. To the power of 3.
Obviously,
that's
I did not.
I forgot. God, I can't.
Do that great.
There's only so many things you can keep in your brain. Some things have to go. But yeah, this one here was also kind of crazy. The loss of trust in U.S. leaders. Marine punished for Afghan pullout criticism resigns effective 9/11 and calls for revolution. So this guy, who is a U.S. Marine, was relieved of duty over a viral video blasting the poorly managed exit from Afghanistan, has quit the service, saying he's lost all trust in American leaders while demanding accountability for their failures. The controversial soldier, Lieutenant Colonel Stuart, how do you say this name? Scheller, took to his Facebook account on Tuesday to announce his plans to leave the Marine Corps, sharing a photo of his resignation letter, which requests a termination date of September 11. He captioned the post with a message addressed to the American leadership, which concludes with what verges on a call for revolution. We, the people, submit our resignation with request date of 11 September 2021. Reason loss of trust and confidence, Scheller wrote, echoing the wording of his letter. So this was his letter. This is his.
I've seen this guy.
Yeah, this is his actual video, which we're not going to watch because he just basically talks about how he's lost trust and everything. The Marine first gained recognition last Thursday after posting Facebook video shredding U.S. military and political leaders for their handling of the withdrawal from Afghanistan, saying nobody had taken responsibility for a string of errors. I have been fighting for 17 years. I'm willing to throw it all away to say to my senior leaders, I demand accountability, he said in the clip, which quickly went viral across several social media platforms. After that, less than 24 hours after the video went viral, however, Scheller announced in another Facebook post that he had been relieved of duty based on the lack of trust and confidence from his superiors. While he did not criticize their decisions, Scheller remained adamant in urging accountability, calling on the other Marine to step up and join him. They only have the power because we allow it. What if we all demanded accountability? Before formally announcing his resignation, Scheller steered further controversy with another video filmed, he says, from an abandoned school bus in Eastern Carolina entitled Your Move. You have no idea what I'm capable of doing, he said in the video, in which he also discusses his exposure to toxic burn pits during his deployment in Ramadi, Iraq. He later adds, addressing fellow service members, Follow me and we will bring the whole effing system down. The next day, Scheller said he was ordered to undergo a mental health screening, suggesting his recent criticisms were being attributed to past traumatic stress disorder. First, excusing the actions of service members because of PTSD does more damage to service members than any trauma in combat, he said. I have been in a very traumatic combat situations, but because of that, I'm stronger. Despite tendering his resignation, Scheller has continued to his battle with military leadership from his perch on social media, addressing Marine Commandant General David Berger in a confrontational post on Tuesday evening. I understand you want to court-martial me. Your entire staff has already told me. All the captains you spoke to today already texted me, he wrote, adding, your problem right now is that I'm moving faster than you. I'm outmaneuvering you. So that is what is maneuvering. I said maneuvering. That was a total, that's funny. But yeah, so I don't know. It seems.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit tactful and smart, because you could just get yourself in trouble really fast when you start using certain words and phrases and revolution. Where it seems like you're threatening them.
Yeah.
You're threatening somebody else. I understand. I totally understand that he is very unhappy right now with how everything's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to, if he winds up in a jail cell or detained or whatever, like, he's not there, you're not going to be doing really any good there either. So I don't know. I just think that there's other ways to go about trying to get change to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a platform, I definitely think a lot of people, but again, when you use this kind of language that can be construed as a threat, like, people aren't going to want to get behind that either, because they know.
See, the thing is while I agree with you, because you have to be more tactful about this kind of stuff, especially when you're calling out the beast, like the military industrial complex is like, that's a big deal, right? And them, you've been working with them for 17 years, right? So like, you would think you'd be a little bit more, tactical in what you're and how you're going about it. But at the same time, to see a soldier come out and call out a leadership like this, and one of the things that I thought about when I was reading it was when he said they don't understand that, like, we have the power. And I've always said this about all of this, is that the people do have the power, and part of the military are the people who sign up, because you guys don't have the kind of military we do in Iran or in other places where they force you to be part of the military. You have volunteers. These are volunteers going after something they believe in. They love their country, and they want to give their life to protect the values of said country. And I think that is really interesting. And if you have basically the people, the little people, lose faith in their government and not want to sacrifice their life for that government or for that country, then you have a problem, because then your military is going to suffer. And then, well, I mean, that's not what you want. That's not what you want at all, especially when you're the States and you have so many enemies. I don't know. It's just, but I do believe in the people have the power. So I do agree with him that the people do have the power. They can put a stop to certain things if they really want to.
Yeah. I mean, if we can kind of just quickly, let's just go back over what he said, because
let me see. Hold on.
I just think it's really important to be.
Why am I? Okay, here we go. Which part do you want to go?
Just like some of his quotes.
I have been fighting for 17 years. I'm willing to throw it all away. To my senior leaders, I demand accountability, he said in the clip, which quickly went viral. And then he said the only power.
Okay.
They only have power because we allow it.
Those are fine. Follow me and we will bring down the whole effing system.
Yeah.
You have no idea what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah, that that's very not good.
You're basically putting a light on you where they are going to be watching you. Like they will be surveilling, they're going to be surveilling you now.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and it makes sense that they asked for a psych eval, because they're like, well, wait a minute, are you gonna like
you're gonna
open fire somewhere?
Right.
I don't know what you're gonna do now.
And that's just when you say certain things like that, it all of a sudden the imagination gets going, and in my mind, even like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by you're willing to throw it all away? Do you mean you've thrown your military career away?
Yeah.
Or do you mean you're willing to throw your
life away? Yeah, that's up to
interpretation.
interpretation.
Are really
right?
up to interpretation. So, I mean, sure, we have the freedom of speech, but if somebody goes on Facebook and puts like a threat out against somebody else, like a kind of a obscure threat, I mean, that can be taken extremely seriously, right? I mean, wherever it is, whatever kind of threat it is towards anybody, and so you just have to be really careful with your words.
I agree.
So, I think if he wanted to, I think it's great that he's standing up for what he's believing in and what he believes in, and he's taking a stand for that. And really, with the platform he has, I believe he could get a group of people behind him to, create noise, to bring attention to what's going on.
And that's really important right now. And there's a lot of disillusioned people right now, especially in the military, because like this guy, they've given their entire basically adult life into this service, and then to have it all end like this, it's ridiculous. And Orville Nation, thank you so much for the $5. PJ says, did you guys hear Biden abandoned the military service dogs and some of their handlers at Kabul airport? Very, very disturbing. Bring them home. Yes, I did hear about it. And what the craziest thing is that I also read that apparently the Taliban found the dogs, and they rounded them up, and they are going to train them to follow their orders now and use them as military attack dogs. So
the Babylon Bee is going to do some article about the Taliban. Like,
I was like, know. What? And this was not the Babylon Bee. I was actually.
No. I know, but they're going to do something with this, like where they're going to, the Taliban steals something from the U.S. and now is using it for their service. Like, I mean, it's just.
That's literally what happened. They were like, they rounded up the dogs. Yeah, they rounded up the dogs. We're not letting
anything go to waste here.
No,
you leave us.
Like,
dogs,
well, these are good dogs. What we're gonna do?
Yeah,
well, we're gonna use these
military
dogs.
equipment. You're not gonna use it. We'll use it. I mean,
we're gonna throw a parade.
The problem is, did you see my last video or? I think
which one? The one you just posted right before the show, because I was just watching that and then I didn't get to finish it.
No, so there was the one. I mean, it's not even a minute, Nina, but
I saw your icon pop up and I was like, John's here, and then I clicked on your face.
Oh, okay. So no, I appreciate you watching. But no, the video with John Kirby, the Pentagon spokesman.
I think I saw that one. Let me pull it up.
I mean, they're just straight up lying. They said that
I didn't see that one. The one that says that, well, this is embarrassing. That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Okay, let's watch it together.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen this.
By the way, Eric Allen, thank you so much for your membership. Darlin, thank you so much. And for the $10 says, I don't have a lot of money right now, but I love I love the streams and the positive stuff you put up every week. Honey, thank you so much. It's rough times right now. You don't have to super chat. Thank you. I really, 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 really appreciate it. nonetheless, thank you so much for that $10 and your membership. It's just you being here, smashing the like and sharing out into the world is good enough for me. Thank you so much. So that let me just having said that, I'm going to pull up your video now. There it is. God, you've been killing it with these videos. By the way, congratulations on like 132 now. It's like 131. I don't know what it is.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been August was a good month.
Yeah, you jumped up a whole bunch. Okay, 131. Yay. Congrats. Okay, here we go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
If at any point in the last 20 years I had said to you that there would be Taliban fighters inspecting U.S. helicopters inside an evacuated hangar, how is that anything other than a U.S. defeat?
John, I would tell you that they can inspect all they want. They can look at them, they can walk around, but they can't fly them. They can't operate them. We made sure to demilitarize, to make unusable all the gear that is at the airport, all the aircraft, all the ground vehicles.
Well, that's just untrue.
They can't operate them. We made sure to demilitarize, to make unusable all the gear that is at the airport, all the aircraft, all the ground vehicles. They can look at them, they can walk around, but they can't fly them. They can't fly them.
Oh my God.
Figured out how to open doors.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
They can't fly.
I hate laughing at this.
All right, so Memology 102, I got to give him a shout out. Formerly known as Memology 101.
And 101, his channel is back. Did you hear?
Is it? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great, awesome. Well, I know he's doing great on his other channel. So, but I saw his video and I'm like, I got to put out one on this myself. So, so mine is just kind of like a cheap imitation of his. I tried to, put my own little spice and ingredients on
Spin
it.
on it.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
seen
essentially
his.
the same. Yeah.
But Memology, I'm so happy that he got his channel back though. Yay.
Great channel.
Yes.
Awesome channel. If you are not subscribed, subscribe to both Memology 101 and 102.
Because you don't know if he's ever gonna you never know anymore, man.
Know.
You just don't know. Thank you
Day
so
to
much
day.
for another $5. PJ said, how many lives have those dogs saved over the years by sniffing out explosives? I know. And they're just abandoned, including their human handlers. I know. I mean, personally, while I love dogs, I love dogs, PJ. The humans are a little bit more concerning for me. Personally, I'm like,
Sure.
I cannot believe
There's a hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy. I love dogs. I love cats. But I'm just like, dude, the humans are being left behind. And that's crazy. I did see some images that were a little bit hopeful of a bunch of military personnel going in to rescue those dogs. And like, you could see them like they had a bunch of like military personnel like with strapped on doggies like getting airlifted out of Kabul and everything like that. So there is some semblance of hope and sanity where the doggies are being a little bit rescued, but some of them are not, and they're going to be brainwashed to fight Americans soon. So that's kind of sad.
They're going to be naming the dogs Mohammed. Maybe even Mohammed. They could even do a triple Mohammed.
They
wanted
could.
to. Yeah.
They could.
Not like they have last names. So.
Triple profit. The physicality channel, thank you so much for the $2, says $2 1 cup. What? I don't get it. Why is this going?
2 girls 1 cup.
Oh God. How dare you? I know, right? It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's so crazy what's going on in the world. It's absolutely insane.
They might be better off with the Taliban than with Joe Biden's administration. I'm kidding.
I know. The handlers. Oh my God.
Well, did you hear about Joe Biden's dog?
The one that, he died, right?
No, not that I know of, but
I know one of them died.
okay, what? So basically, Psaki got caught. Jen Psaki got caught lying.
Oh,
did you see that video that I did? Okay. Here, let me pull it up real quick.
She always lies, though.
It turns out that the Secret Service records came out that their dog. Oh gosh, I bet somebody in the chat's telling me what his name is. Oh, what the heck is? I want to say Hunter, but that's Joe's son. But here we'll
Saigon Saki. Thank you. That's very nice. What a nice compliment. Are you sharing it?
Okay. I'm sharing it now. It took me a second to get to it.
I hope Biden's dog bites him. Ouch.
It's been biting some.
It's been biting a lot of people.
Secret Service agents.
And my second question on the topic is, yesterday the Conservative Transparency Group, Judicial Watch, released Secret Service records on dog bites involving the first dog, Major. One email said that Secret Service agents were bitten every single day for 8 days from March 1st to March 8th.
They were bitten every single day from March 1st to March 8th.
What the hell? The hell's going on with that dog?
Yeah, so she doesn't deny any of it, but see how she just glosses over it.
And that the White House visitor was as well. At a March 9th briefing, you only described one biting incident to us and described the dogs as being whisked back to Delaware on a pre-planned trip to visit family friends. Obviously, that is not the world's most important story, but it is significant because we expect honest information even for minor stories. So can you explain to us why there was some kind of misleading account presented to us? And if we can't get honest information about minor stories, why should we have faith in the administration's account for larger issues like Afghanistan?
I know you do keep the dog in the news in the briefing room, so thank you for that.
Pretty smug little reply there.
Oh, but God, she's the worst.
She doesn't deny that it happened. And these are records that are out. And they lied. I mean, I know it like you said, it's like, sure, it's a little thing compared to much bigger things. But if they're willing to lie about something so small as the dog, such an inconsequential matter in the big picture of things, if they're willing to lie about something like this, darn well they are lying. I mean, we just saw it. They're lying about everything.
They're lying about everything.
Biden, I mean, if you know Biden's track record, that guy has no problem lying.
As we've stated previously, Major has had some challenges adjusting to life in the White House. He has been receiving additional training, as well as spending some time in Delaware, where the environment is more familiar to him and he is more comfortable. I don't have any additional specifics, but I think that speaks to where Major is located, to be fully transparent and your ongoing interest in the dog. Go ahead.
Oh my God. And you're on. Oh my. And your ongoing interest in the dog. Like the way she said that, like she's so condescending. Like it's like, whatever. It's just a fucking stupid dog. And you're like, that's all you care about. You fucking stupid idiot. Oh, Valiant Renegade. Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for the $20. Says, hey, Nina and John. Making the rounds tonight as I'm heading off to bed. 5 a.m. hunt for more gasoline lies ahead down here in Louisiana. Oh, wow. Ooh, so thankful for cellular data and great YouTubers who keep me entertained like you two. Oh, well, I hope you find all the gas that you need to survive for the next little while. Because I think you said you have a Jenny going. So I understand the need for fuel. And I hope your power comes back soon too, like your actual power. And no more hurricanes, although it's just the beginning. I'm nervous.
Yeah. Value Renegade, man. Hope I hope it's I hope you get your power back ASAP.
ASAP. I know Jane's okay, and I'm glad you're okay though. Like physically you're okay, so that's good. Deranged Lunatic, thank you so much for becoming a member. That is so sweet of you. And also sending me a super sticker, which I can't see because I hate StreamYards. It is, I will tell you, it's a rose. It's a beautiful rose. It's Teresa's cousin. Thank you so much.
What's up, Deranged Lunatic?
And Valiant Renegade for another $5 says, and Jen Psaki is the only redhead Hollywood except Wonder FNG. I know, dude. That, oh my God. I was going to totally make that point as well. And also, every time I watch one of John's videos, I'm like, I've always hated that idea that gingers have no soul. Like, I hated that thing until I see her. And I'm like, dude, this chick literally does not have a soul. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that she's a ginger, but she's crazy. I don't know. She's got those weird dead eyes. Like, I don't know if you, well, you zoom into it all the time. So I'm sure you've noticed what I'm talking about.
Well, this last video I posted, did you see the video I posted on her today?
Yeah, that one I did see.
Her eyes were moving like crazy.
I know. She looks weird, man.
Her eyes were just like bouncing around. Like she was seriously unnerved by this guy's question.
She was bugging out. And then she does this weird thing too, where she's like a lizard. Like she'll constantly go. And I'm like, dude, like when you're like wetting your lips, like it's supposed to be really like, you know, not like overt.
Subtle.
But she constantly like sticks out her tongue like all the way out. And I'm like, girl, like I don't know what you're missing there, but damn, like maybe she wants an ice cream with Joe. I don't know what's going on over there. Orville Nation, thank you so much for becoming a member. That is so sweet of you. I love you, PJ. Eric Allen, thank you so much for the $5. Says, are my messages getting through? I'm seeing this one. I don't know. What do you mean? I haven't seen.
They must be.
They must be because I see this one. But I don't see any of the other ones. Is it possible that maybe it's being held for review and I don't have enough wrenches in the chat to pass them? That could be something. But I'm not sure. It should be coming through though. Can you put something else in the chat right now? Like not a super chat so I can see. Let me see here. Just say hi, Nina, or something like that, and I can look into that. I see Luminous Brilliance calling me a boomer. Kai says there's nothing to approve. So I'm not sure what's going on, Eric. I'm sorry. Oh, he says he was in top chat. I don't know what's going on with it. I'm sorry, Eric, but I hope that it gets resolved. Maybe? I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not sure. 200 Watt Studios, thank you so much for the $5. Says, always projection. Remember when they made a big deal about asking Kayleigh McEnany if she would ever lie? Yeah, projection. Dude, I know, right? Like, half the stuff that, like, if Kayleigh had said anything close to what Jen Psaki says, I mean, she would have just been, I don't know, just destroyed. Jen Psaki says the most insane shit all the time. And I'm like, I don't understand how she gets away with it. Which I do. Actually, I'll take that back. I do understand how she gets away with it because it's just an echo chamber. It's literally an echo chamber in there. They have to paint a picture and they just, they just let it go. They just let it go. And it's really freaking ridiculous. One last thing about Afghanistan, and then we'll move on to that COOF stuff that I was telling you about. I saw this thing today on Twitter, and I was like, this guy makes some interesting points because, I'm a little bit conspiracy theory oriented. So let's listen to this guy's conspiracy theory together. He says, okay, here we go.
Hi, folks. I'm back. Just want to say something. Maybe put a little bug in your ear, kind of make you think a little bit. Check this out. There's a proposal for a pipeline to go from Eastern Europe through Siberia, down all the way through Central Asia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, all the way down into Afghanistan, because it's been proven that Afghanistan has trillions of untapped oil and natural gas resources.
Where's Dick Cheney when you need? No.
The Afghan government doesn't want it. There's a reason why their resources are untapped, because they don't want to tap into those. The same proposal was thrown to the Taliban, because this company really, really, really wants that area. Taliban takes over with little to no U.S. resistance or presence. This company, this corporation, gets their deal because the Taliban sees dollar signs. And with dollar signs, they go, we get what we want. You can just pay us in surplus U.S. military equipment, which is just left behind, completely unclaimed. And the name of this company, Burisma.
What? What?
Where have we heard that name before?
So that was it. And for those that don't remember, but what is Burisma Holdings? The story behind the scandal tied to a Ukrainian firm that hired Hunter Biden. So there's a lot of implications here with that. What did you think of that?
It's certainly enough to get Joe Biden impeached if it's true.
Mm-hmm.
If it's true. Joe Biden did meet with the president of Ukraine today.
I know. I did. I saw that.
What a coinkydink.
What a quinky-dink. I know. And then, and he was refusing to talk about Hunter Biden.
Yeah, I wonder if, I just wonder if it's true. Like,
I just thought that guy's, I mean, the theory was really interesting and relevant. Like, I don't know. I thought, I was like, oh, this guy may have just like nailed it on the head. But Eric Allen, though, for $20 says, how is it not understood that this withdrawal was messed up on purpose? And again, it does kind of seem that way, doesn't it? Like, having seen this guy's theory and left, we've left all these, well, you guys have left all these military equipment behind and everything like that. It does seem like there's a purpose to it, and it could have been to do with this whole situation with the pipeline and the involvement of Burisma. So
$85 billion worth of military equipment.
The plot thickens indeed. So I don't know, Eric, what do you think of that? Because you sent this before I played that video. So I feel like it's kind of connected to your super chat, actually. It feels like maybe there is stuff going on behind the scenes that people are, they're just not aware of, but seems like this is definitely something. Valiant Renegade, thank you so much for becoming a member, man. Really awesome. Thank you. But yeah, so 82 million votes, says Valiant Renegade. Poor Zelina. We're not doomed. The earth will carry on. Life will carry on. That's why I do Infinite Hope, Zelina, because as much as this stuff is really fucked up, and it is, we will persevere. Humanity always perseveres. That's why we just gotta we just gotta be creative, stop tyranny at all costs, stop authoritarianism, and just don't give in. Don't give in, man. Don't let up on the fight, because they won't. They're bringing that fight to your door. At least they are in Canada.
And play, all of that in play. I will survive on a regular basis.
I will survive. Yeah, I butchered that song the other day on karaoke night with Polly. Man, I freaking butchered that song. But then I gained some credibility back by doing another song called Skyfall by Adele. And I freaking killed that song. So this was an interesting thing that came up. Did you see this? Joe Rogan reveals he contracted COVID-19, lists medicines he claims made him feel great in 3 days. Disclaimer, YouTube, Mama Susan, girl, love you. All my medical things that I'm reading right now, it's just, on these things. I'm not a medical expert, neither is John. We're not medical experts. So everything from here on out is our opinions, which are not medical expert opinions. So disclaimer. But yeah, so he did this. And he's using alternative medicine. Influential podcaster and UFC commentator Joe Rogan has sparked outrage yet again by commenting on the COOF, this time saying that he contracted the virus, but only faced one bad day after taking a bunch of meds, such as this word. Rogan announced on Wednesday the cancellation of an upcoming comedy show and explained in an Instagram video his recent experience with the COOF. After feeling very weary, Rogan said he was isolated from his family and later got a COOF test, which came up positive. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it, all kinds of meds, all of these things. And I also got an ad drip, blah, blah, blah. So you guys can read this because I'm not even going to read it out loud just in case. But this is what he did. And apparently it kicked the COOF's ass in like a day. So that's good. But more proof of that. I don't even know if I want to play this, honestly. Because I feel like
will it be considered misinformation or
exactly
whatever?
So what I will do though is I'm gonna put this article in the chat so you guys can hear it from Joe himself. Or you can go on his Instagram, but Joe Rogan. So yeah, you guys can check out Joe's insights. But I thought it was pretty interesting because here is another famous person coming out and talking about alternatives to getting jabbed, which is all they care about now in Canada. All they care about is the jab, which is really fucking annoying.
It's like 1,000 zombies coming at you with needles.
I mean, man, I can't even deal. I can't even deal with what's happening in Canada right now, which is this. I mean, it just makes me sick to my stomach when I see Trudeau talk.
Justin Trudeau? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So this is what he had to say today.
So the folks out there tonight shouting.
Can you guys hear it? Oh.
They're wrong. They are wrong about how we get through this pandemic. And more than just being wrong, because everyone's entitled to their opinions, they are putting at risk their own kids.
Oh, gosh.
They're putting at risk our kids as well. That's why we've been unequivocal. If you want to get on a plane or a train in the coming months, you're going to have to be fully vaccinated. So families with their kids don't have to worry that someone is going to put them in danger in the seat next to them or across.
Because vaccines have proved to be so effective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yet people keep on getting COVID, even though they've been vaxxed. But I guess stupid is as stupid does, or the definition of insanity is what these people are. We're just going to keep on doing the same things that don't work and expect different results.
This guy is a total psychopath. The interesting thing to me is that he keeps using these cult words that they've made up too, like non-essential business and, like all these weird word, like the nouns and verbs and all this shit that they made up. And they use he's just using the most illogical arguments to make an argument, which makes absolutely no sense. It's just all through fear. It's all fear driven. They're gonna come. It's gonna get your kids. Even though the COOF, that doesn't really get kids, especially if they're healthy and like have no comorbidities or whatever. And you know what? It's like, did kids never get sick before the coof? Like, I don't really understand. Like,
kids get sick all the time. They're like germ carriers.
When my husband was working at the school and he was teaching, he would bring in something with him every freaking month. Like, I would get sick every month because he was at school teaching these freaking kids. And I was like, you know, it's just the way it is. Sometimes your immune system works and, you know, you don't get it. And sometimes, you know, sometimes he would get sick and I wouldn't. And sometimes I would get sick from his sickness, but I would get a milder version of it or whatever. But it's just the way it is. It's not like kids have never gotten sick before. It's freaking retarded.
Yeah.
Oops, I said the R word. Now I'm really getting canceled. But okay. Do you want me to share this now, John?
Yeah, real quick. So I guess this is from Israel. This information here, it's from one of the most heavily vaxxed countries.
Mm-hmm.
Personal experiences can always be outliers. Carefully designed research should be more reliable. This one from Israel found that vaxxed were being hospitalized and dying at almost 3 times the rate as unvaxxed.
I mean, there's crazy shit coming out of where was it today? I saw Eric July post something about it too. The same thing that you just said. I think it was in. Let me quickly check. I retweeted my Eric July's post about it. Yeah, it was in Iceland. So same thing, a very similar thing in Iceland as well. So right here, with over 91% of adults partially vaccinated and 87% of adults fully vaccinated, Iceland has reported 40% of all their COVID cases in the past month and a half. Good news is that politicians and experts are still pushing the vaccine passport to stop transmission.
I can't.
Crazy.
It's almost like, again, these people have been like preaching the vaccine for so long at this point. Like their mind can't even conceive of any other possible solution. It's just like, because they've been saying the vaccine will work and protect you for so long, even when it doesn't, they're still in that train of thought. Like, no, we just need to get, keep shooting ourselves up with vaxes. I put a video out on Twitter. I didn't want to put it out on YouTube because I just don't.
I saw that, John, because I was like, I'm glad you didn't put it on Twitter because that should take you down right away.
On YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube, yeah.
But I basically, there's a bunch of things, especially before even COVID started, where these articles talking about how vaccines actually can create stronger forms of the virus. And it's kind of that idea of just like making things worse. It's just like, whether you want to think about like Frankenstein or whether you want to think of Jurassic Park, which is essentially the story of Frankenstein. I mean, I personally, and this is why I have not gotten the vaccine myself, is because I don't know if you'd call me like a naturalist, but the idea that when man plays God and tries to fix things, and even in that type of arrogance and hubris, thinking that he can do better or that he can, every time it just seems like history, time after time after time, shows that we always make things worse. Now, of course, there are exceptions like, smallpox and, polio. There's certain vaccines where, of course, that is not the case. But again, those things were deadly. Like, those things were absolute. Like, here, we have a survival rate of 99+% if you get it. And for certain age groups, it's much, your survival rate is even higher. I just feel like the more we tamper around now and this was the thing too that I put out in my video. And again, this is just my theory. All of these variants start popping up after the vaccines started. They say that the Delta variant started in India in December. That's when they discovered it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when they started doing vaccine trials in India?
When was that?
November, 1 month prior.
Mm.
In the US, there's about 13 or 14 different variants that we know of now. All these variants started popping up after people got vaxxed, after they got the shot. So what's happening, and again, I'm not a medical expert, I don't know, but my theory is, of course, is that the virus adapts, it mutates, it changes because it gets used to, it evolves, whatever you want to call it, and it becomes stronger.
Yeah, it becomes stronger because that's what viruses do.
Yeah, and naturally,
yeah.
even we get herd immunity and stuff, and a virus change. I mean, it happens, but I think what might be happening, or what we might be doing, is we might be making that happen in an accelerated rate. And I just think at the end of the day, we're just making a big mess of everything, rather than if people have medical complications or issues, if you feel like it's more of a risk for you to not have the vaccine, I understand that. But the idea that we need to mass vaccinate the entire population, to me, is absurd.
I agree. It just doesn't make any sense, because the thing is that it was never purported to be basically that it would ever stop, that it would stop transmission. It's not going to stop transmission. It's not one of those vaccines that does that. And this virus is here to stay. It's here to stay. That's the thing. And John, you and I have been talking about this literally from day one, because we basically started hanging out when this started going down. And from day one, what did I tell you? This thing is here to stay. We just need to live our life. It's just not it's just not going away. And the fact is that people's relationship with death and the idea that you can die from a virus, that's the thing that I feel is the most interesting thing, psychologically speaking, out of this whole mess, is that I don't know, I actually I forgot to tell you that I got into a pretty bad car accident a couple months ago, and as the car was coming right at me, I had this moment of I thought I was gonna die, and right after that, even my whole outlook on life changed even more, because I was like, man, this whole thing is so freaking dumb, because you literally could step out of your house, go to the grocery store, which is what I was doing. I was just going to the grocery store with my friend, and she was driving us there, and you could get into a giant car accident and you could die. Wow. So you might as well live your freaking life. It doesn't matter. Yes. One of those things is in the Middle East, in Palestine, and the fact that this war in the Middle East, especially with Israel and Palestine, has been going on for so long. One of the things that I saw many years ago was this lady, and she was doing this documentary on living in Gaza, and she was saying that she didn't understand how the people there lived life to the fullest the way that they did, because they could die literally at any second from rockets from Hamas or whatever that was going on at the time. And she was like, I've never been around people who lived life to the fullest and appreciated life to the extent that these people did. So in that sense, I feel like we're living in such a place where we've decided we're just going to give up on life now, like, because it's like, let's just survive, and just, you know, as long as we're like wearing these masks and covering ourselves and, you know, staying away from each other and like doing that, like, there's no way we're going to get sick. There's no way we're going to say, as long as we get these jabs in our, you know, in our veins, that it's not going to happen. And then it happens to people, and then they're like, well, what, like, you know, I was under the, you know, impression that it wasn't going to happen anymore. It's like, brah, you're going to die anyway. If it's not this, it's going to be from something. Like, something's going to kill you. So you might as well live your life to the fullest every minute of every day. That's basically what all, like, you know, philosophers have always talked about, is the idea to, you know, live every minute like it's your last, right? Like, if you live a life like that, then if something is coming around the corner, you're not gonna feel like you've lived a life of regret or whatever else. Like, you know, it's just, you're gonna live the way you want to live. And I think that's like, it's crazy to me that how people have lost sight of that, in a sense, especially in Canada. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on in Canada. It's just,
Canada,
Australia's,
you know, I feel like the government there is definitely
Ireland,
probably even worse, more authoritarian than Canada, it seems. But
no, dude, Canada's going the same way. Okay, so this,
no, they definitely are.
Okay, so let's finish that thing, because he said a whole bunch of other stuff, and then there was some.
I'm glad you're okay though. I didn't know you got in an accident. That's crazy.
I know. We'll talk about it after. It's crazy. It was a crazy time. Okay, so that, where is it?
I don't, you know, there's something about this guy. Like, I feel, I have a disdain for him.
I do too.
Just once I see him, and I see Joe Biden every day editing these videos, but there's a different kind of like disdain for Trudeau.
I know, because at least when you're looking at Joe, you feel like, okay, well, at least I'm looking at a senile old man. So, like, you know, you just feel a little bit like of a, you know, kind of like pity. I don't know, like something.
There's something.
You know?
He's not all there.
Yeah.
You know?
So you're like, oh, well, I mean, he's old, he's fucked up, he's
there's people like having him by the strings, hearing him, you know, which I'm sure, I don't know, probably there's somebody behind Trudeau, but
maybe
there's just something about this guy where
this guy's Patrick Bateman. He literally is like the most, like, he's good looking, and he's a psycho. Like, he's just a complete psychopath, and then he just thinks he can get away with whatever. And here he is actually talking about that.
The aisle. And we know that the way to get through this as well is to make sure that people can go into non-essential businesses and feel safe that they're not going to get catch COVID from someone next to them. And that means we're going to work with provinces and territories who want to move forward on vaccination certifications, on vaccination passports, so that everyone can be safe. And what's more, the federal government has announced we're going to pay for the development of those privileges that you get once you get vaccinated, because everyone.
Where the fuck does the government get their money from, Trudeau?
Yeah, no, we're paying for it. Well, Canada, the
Canadians are paying for it. Money doesn't grow on trees, bro. We pay that shit.
He acts like it's a gift from the government.
I know.
This is the whole idea of like government as God. You know, they position themselves as they're the ones who are going to provide for you. They're the ones who are going to save you. They're the ones. These people are absolute sleaze bags.
Psychos.
Needs to get vaccinated, and those people are putting us all at risk.
Those people. So he's already like making a distinction. Vaccinated and those people.
I'm making a distinction too. I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, you're psycho.
These people, yeah, you're one of those people.
Yeah, you're one of those people, and those people are psychos. That's what I think. Like, okay, it's basically the psychos versus normals, and you know, we're normals. Like, this is absolute nonsense, clown world shit. Okay, hold on. this gets even worse.
And Aaron O'Toole is siding with them.
Okay, hold on.
Instead of with Canadians who did their part and stepped up.
Aaron O'Toole is a fucking tool. He is the leader of the Conservative Party, which is basically a non-opposition. He's not doing shit. He gave this guy like a little bit of grief about like, oh wow, we're really gonna do this federally, because he's the leader of the Conservatives, so he doesn't want the economy to shut down again. So he's like, he's trying to like at least go with his base a little bit, that like they're worried about the pipelines, and they're worried about the oil industry. They're worried about everything, right? They're just worried that the borders are still closed. There's just a lot of things to worry about. So he gave him a little bit of criticism on that, and this guy is going off on it. Mind you, Aaron O'Toole has basically almost the same exact politics and things that he wants to do for his campaign as Trudeau. The same.
They need a Trump. They need somebody that's like Trump to come in and just shake up the whole system.
Well, that's kind of like what's happening with the People's Party of Canada. That's the new party that's been formed. But get this, John. So because this is a new party, they're gonna stop them from having the main guy, Maxime Bernier, who's running as the CPP leader. They're not even allowing him to debate. They're saying you're not even allowed to debate because your party is too new. And we can't have you debating. Well, of course they can't have him debating because the CBC is bought for and paid for by the government, and the government basically picks and chooses which opinions they want to hear. So they're not allowed to debate. But Trudeau goes on to say more.
He's talking about personal choice. What about my choice to keep my kids safe? What about our choices to make sure we're getting through this pandemic as quickly as we can? That's the choice we've all made. Canadians have shown it in being there for each other. And I am not going to back down no matter how many of them show up to try and shout us down from what I know to be true, what science tells us, what Canadians have told me.
The science is telling you that the jab is still causing COVID. Go look at the CDC. They're still saying the same shit. It doesn't stop transmission.
They can't say it's a pandemic of the unvaccinated anymore.
You're still going to get it. And if it's doing anything, you may have milder symptoms, possibly, and not end up in the hospital. That is the only thing it's doing. It's not protecting others from the disease. If they come in contact with you, you could still transmit it. It's the most ridiculous thing I've fucking ever heard.
Which is, people are willing to do their part to get through this pandemic, and that's what we will do together.
People are willing to do their part. See, that's the other, like the lingo, right? Like the amount of absolute brainwashing jargon that they're doing, right? Like the vaccinated are doing their part. So when we shut the government down, or when we lock down again, which they will, you watch Canada, they're going to lock everything down again. It's those people's fault because you did your part. So go get them. Go be mad at them because they're the ones. Guys. Yeah, you're the good guys. They're the bad guys.
This is like manipulative. You know, like how parent relationships, there's like toxic, like how like a toxic parent will put down one child and they'll, one child's the bad child, the other child's a good child. Where in a healthy parent relationship, parents just love their kids unconditionally. So it's kind of like that. It's like manipulation games.
It's absolutely manipulation games. It's just like, it's gaslighting. It's playing there's just so many, just the fear tactic, just like it's fearful. Like, it's all about the children. Would someone please think of the children,
Never
like blah,
gave
blah,
a
blah.
shit about. It's just funny to me how much the government all of a sudden cares.
Yeah, and big
and
pharma.
they're doing stuff for free. That should really send off the alarm bells. When the government is paying for you to essentially stay home, where they're giving everybody free vaccines, because they care so much about you. I mean, this is all very like,
it's just so crazy.
Yeah, like you should be extremely suspicious. Whoever you are, this is very bizarre behavior from the government. You know, this is
it's insane.
They're still showing their true colors as they always do. Trudeau right here. I mean, it's so blatant. I mean, if you're just have your eyes just slightly open, you see the manipulation, you see the bullshit, you see that they're just pushing an agenda. It's not because they care about you. They don't care about anybody but themselves and their own pockets.
They don't give a shit about anybody. And you know what? They want to use $1 billion of taxpayer money to help provinces pay for vaccine passports, which Ontario was denying at first, being like, this is not a very good idea. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but it's just basically they're using $1 billion of taxpayer money to make this app, which is fucking ridiculous. And then this came out today because at first Ontario was kind of like holding it back, and they were saying, well, we don't know about this. I don't know if it should be federal. It should be like a provincial thing. But now Ontario bent the knee, and Ontario's COVID-19 vaccine passport plans unveiled won't apply to retail. That's a crock of shit. So the main points to understand from this, though, is that the government says on October 22nd it will shift to certify that includes QR codes containing much of the same information, including of the vaccine receipts that are already available. The shift will be accompanied by the release of the verification app that can be used to validate the QR codes and provide the vaccination status of an individual. Officials said that the purpose of the app is to relieve businesses and facilities from having to determine whether a patron has been vaccinated or not. The intention is that to enhance certificates was to be unstable. Where's that part where there was a part that it said, hold on. Okay. The recipients can be printed.
The receipts can be printed or downloaded as a PDF file to smartphones.
Yes. Okay. So that fully vaccinated here means, fully vaccinated here means having had 2 doses with the most recent at least 14 days prior, neither a recent COVID-19 infection or a recent negative test will substitute for the 2 shots, even though we know that you could be sick with the coof if you've had the jab.
If you have the jab.
So, and you could be transmitting it. So literally, it's actually not about health at all, because if you are vaccinated, you could still be giving it to others. You could still be sick.
Yeah.
You could be a sick person and be in the restaurant. It makes no fucking difference. Yet a person who takes a negative test and says, I'm not sick because I'm negative right now. I can take a test right in front of you and it'll show you that I'm negative. That doesn't matter. That does not matter.
Bullshit. It's about control.
It's about control.
It's not about your health. It's about control. And this stuff with the QR code, they're basically giving you a UPC code or whatever. I mean, we're getting to Mark of the Beast territory here.
Oh, yes.
This stuff is... It's getting
this
biblical.
is it. So where will proof be needed? The vaccines are going to be at restaurant, or it's going to be at restaurant and bars, excluding outdoor patios, delivery and takeout. Oh, gee, thanks, takeout. Oh,
you can't even eat.
It says excluding.
Oh, excluding? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So like, oh, shucks. You're not going to ask for my vaccine passport if I go to your fucking door to pick up a tray of food to take with me to my house, or ask for one if you come to the house. Okay, great. Thanks. Nightclubs, including outdoor areas. meetings and event spaces like banquet halls and convention centers. Ooh, I wonder who goes there. Everyone who has a job. Sports and fitness facilities and gyms, with the exception of youth recreational sports. For some reason, that's, I don't know what that means. What's considered youth, I don't know. Sporting events. So, okay, that's basically the same thing as this, and also as concert halls. Casino, bingo halls, and gaming establishments, concerts, music festivals, theaters, cinemas, strip clubs,
Can't go to
and
the strip club. Bathhouses.
and sex clubs. Yeah, because you can't pick up any other diseases at strip
Right.
clubs and fucking sex clubs. Yeah, let's worry
Trust
about
me,
fucking COVID.
You might you might wish you had COVID over some of the stuff you can pick up at one of those institutions there.
Yeah, and lastly, racing venues, which again, strip club and sex club though, like come on, man. Like that's my last worry is coof when I'm going in there. Like I don't know. Clay Thomas, and thank you so much for the $5, says, do you think the government will start withholding tax benefits, refunds, SS checks, Medicare, etc., unless you get the job? Absolutely. I think that's the next step, especially for places like Canada and Australia. I think that I read the other day, there was an article that was going around saying that Samsung and Google and Apple are going to start withholding phone services and access to the internet for people who aren't jabbed in certain places.
What the hell?
At least they're in talks with the government in order to implement this as at some point. And the only way that you can get your service back is if you have proof of vaccination.
This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
This is absolutely ridiculous. People, like, we need to be outraged about this.
That stuff drives me fucking insane. But
like they're trying to strong arm you, like no pun intended, but they are trying to, they're basically holding your freedom for ransom. That is already yours.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see these commercials about, so why did you get the vaccine? It's funny because people don't say, because I really believe, it's going to help my family and protect my family and myself. No, people say, because I wanted to go to the prom, or I wanted to get my life back. It's like, you shouldn't have to do that. It's yours. Freedom is yours by right.
You're just giving it away. You're giving it away.
Surrendering it. Yeah. So this idea of like, they're basically holding it for rent. And instead of us saying, this is bullshit, you fuckers better stop this. Unless you want, a French Revolution on your hands. I'm just saying.
Hey, bring back the guillotine, man. I'm down with that shit. At this point,
it's like they are totally trampling over our rights.
Yeah.
And we need to, people need to be infuriated over this stuff because they will not stop. And I'm afraid
they won't.
That it's probably the populace is already brainwashed as it is, that we are just past the point of no return where there is no going back. I don't know.
I hope not, but I mean, I just, at the same time, I you never know. One moment.
What about says it's tyranny that needs a fatal response. Clay says it's the mark of the beast. Joker Voice says 1984 was a warning, not a how-to menu. Ancient One says because if they can't find it, Forbidden Ruin means that something is utterly wrong.
Sorry. Stephen Otten. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, John?
Oh, I was just reading some of the comments in the chat. Stump Brad says, my friend's married couple ages 66 and 73 got it. Just got it. It sucked, but they are recovering. And again, I mean, I understand the vaccine for older individuals. Like if they want to get it, I totally understand why, if they're weighing the risk in terms of it, if they believe and think that the vaccine is going to help them. I understand why somebody is going to get it. But again, now they're pushing it for kids.
Yep.
Who, you know, their survival rate is the highest out of anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, again, probably what is potentially happening here, maybe it's part of the plan, or it's just, you know, it's like we're going to perpetuate this thing more than if we just had let it run its course.
Yeah, and I mean, somebody was asking me the other day, one of my friends was like, well, what would you have rather done? Like, just let it run its course? I'm like, yeah, that's what we've always done. And herd immunity, that's the whole fucking point. I mean, like, this is why we, like, you know, I was listening to actually another Joe Rogan podcast with Zuby. So he did one recently there. And he was saying, it's not like we're not getting COVID. Nobody's saying nobody's getting COVID in Florida. Everybody's getting COVID all the time. Like, it's not like, it's not something that we understand. Like, getting it is not the same as dying from it. Okay. Yeah. Getting it and recovering means just as the same thing as it's always been. You're going to get the sick. Like, you're going to get sick. You're going to feel like shit for a couple days, maybe a week, maybe two.
You'll develop immunity.
You develop immunity and you move on and you live your life, and that's it. Like, you know, yes, other diseases have killed people, like especially kids. Like, kids die from the flu all the time.
It happens, you know,
all the time.
The flu killed, I think it was 2017. I think it was like, they estimated in the US 60 to 80,000 people. Nobody even blinked an eye.
Exactly.
Nobody blinked an eye.
I just don't understand how this became something that, yeah, like how did this become this one thing we all can't get over? And how did it become that, like, you know, from the very first days where we were talking about 14 days to flatten the curve to now 0 COVID cases? Like, really, is that where, like, where are we gonna draw the line? And you know what? I've never told anyone not to get the vax. I'm not gonna get it because of my own reasons. That's my own health issues, and that's my personal choice, and I don't have to justify it to anybody, really.
Sure.
But honestly,
here's my justification for it. If anything does happen to me after I get the thing, I can't sue the government. They're not liable. So they're telling you to put something in your body that you don't know what the hell is in that thing. At least I mean, sure, the ingredients are there and stuff, but basically it's like we've seen cases where people have had adverse effects, and sure, they are few and far between, but all I know is if something like that happens to me, I can't sue the government. I'm going to have to incur that cost and that burden myself. And I'm not going to be putting that. I would much rather take my risk with getting COVID. I probably already gotten it by now.
Not to mention that you are, like, basically in the age bracket and, like, in the physical shape of people who would, like, even if they got it, like, basically 0% of, you dying kind of thing.
Exactly. It doesn't make, to me, the risk isn't worth it. It's like,
to me either.
It's just not, even if it's a 1 in a million thing, it's just not worth it to me.
And that's okay. So now, having said that, right? My thing has always been, including with the mask, which is all bullshit too, by the way, whatever. My thing with this whole thing has been, stop fucking mandating it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, you want to get a vaccine, go ahead. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
If it's going to keep you safe, what do you have to worry about?
Yeah, why do you care if I get vaccinated or not? Like,
like, if your vaccine works so good, what the hell do you have to worry about? And Justin Trudeau and all those mofos over there in Canada, I'm going to try to watch my mouth here. If your vaccine works so good, what the hell do you care about other people not being vaccinated?
Exactly.
You got vaxxed. You should be good, bro.
You should be fine.
Yeah. All the people that are afraid of COVID, you should be good. If your vaccine is the salvation you claim it's supposed to be. So what the hell is this making it mandatory for everybody?
Yeah.
I don't get it. You should be good.
It makes
this doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
When you really just stop and think about it. there's just so much bullshit out there.
Yep. And Stephen Otten here, thank you so much for the $5, says they could fit his entire speech into the opening of Starship Troopers and no one would tell the difference. And that's true because he's such a fucking weirdo fascist. And also, the funniest part, though, is I did see this. And I sure hope to God that what Elijah Schaefer says here is true. Says, do not spam with dick pics. I repeat, please do not spam with dick pics. He actually came out and asked for people to call him.
Hey everyone, over the next few weeks, I'll be crisscrossing the country talking with Canadians. While I'm out there, I'm also going to be checking my texts. So make sure you reach out to me to share with me your concerns, your priorities, and how we can keep moving forward for everyone. My number is 613-2039. Text me, and we'll keep moving forward together.
It's not too bright.
No. Oh boy.
How many text messages do you think he got just saying F you?
I don't know, but like somebody had
dick pics.
How many dick pics, right? Like, dude, I was reading some of the comments. Like, one of the girls was like, some lady on the comments was like, I would hate to be the staffer that's like handling all these fucking texts because people are going to be sending him so many.
Yeah,
he's not.
You know, it's not his real phone. There's some other.
It's not his real phone. It's some poor staffer that's gonna be seeing all of that. Mexican Iron Man, thank you so much for the $10. Says Nina and John, Mexican Iron Man is prepared to be a hero and do investigative research on the ground for Infinite Talk. Wow. I volunteered to go in person to NASCAR beer events and strip clubs to investigate. Okay.
He's willing to make the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, man, that warms my heart, Mike. Thank you so much for that $10. You're hilarious, Mike. I love you, man. But yeah, so that was really interesting. And then there was one last Trudeau thing that I saw. Where was it? Was that it? That's it for the Trudeau thing? Yeah, I think that's it for the Trudeau thing. Okay, we covered Canadian news enough. That's good. Did you see this thing, John? This rainbow colored Ford truck.
No.
You asked Forward to make the very gay raptor a reality, and we heard you. So there's a very gay raptor.
Who asked for this?
Apparently very gay people.
It's not just gay, but it's very gay.
What the fuck, man?
It is very gay. I mean, I mean,
this is the gayest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Mind you, like, it's not even like gay, it's girly. Like, I mean, I love rainbows and sparkles and unicorns and all that kind of shit. So, like, I mean, I could drive this truck, but people would think I'm gay.
Yeah. Well,
because it says very gay raptor on it.
Well, sure. A big hashtag on the back with very gay. I mean, yeah, they would probably assume that.
I mean, this could just be girly, though. I don't know.
Well, yeah, if you don't have the hashtag on the back, but if you're a dude driving that, you know,
oh boy,
it's very gay.
Oh yeah, they have it here too. Very gay raptor.
This is
how do you think Henry Ford would feel?
I don't even know what to say.
Seeing this.
I think he's very rolling over in his grave right now.
I mean, this fucking car. This is the most.
I'm taking my company back, assholes.
The thing is that this car is so, or this truck, I should say, is so like. Not all gay people want this, okay? Like this is so, yeah. Like it's so.
You feel like they're stereotyping gay people?
It's such a stereotyping of gay people. That's exactly how I feel about it. Because I'm like, I don't understand. Like, because not all gay people are like, I'm gay, and like, you know, like, here's my truck. Like, I don't know.
They're not like Richard Simmons or flamboyantly.
Yeah. Okay. Robert is telling me it wasn't made for you. Okay. Bruce says I'd burn that truck. I mean, I don't know if I'd burn it. You can repaint it.
I would love to put like a cylinder block on the gas pedal and just watch it go right
right over into that
yeah.
pond right there, or
Yeah.
the ocean, or whatever the fuck that place is. I don't know, some lake.
Looks like a river or lake. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Would love to do that.
That truck wants it in the pipeline tailpipe.
What are some of the comments?
All right, let's.
I mean, you can't just have a post
some.
like this and not survey the comments.
Let's see.
Did they get ratioed? I'm assuming.
On this 836 likes. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Quote tweets 1937. Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, there's a video.
Oh my God, let's watch it.
Well, that's a cool car.
I'm gonna mute it because it's. Oops.
You don't want to get a copyright claim?
Yeah, just on the fucking song. Is this for real?
That was their response. So I guess somebody said that the blue was gay, just the blue color, and Ford's like, gay? You don't know gay.
Wow. Oh my God. All right, let's see some of these comments. Okay. Elijah Schaefer. These your customers? Oh God. Okay. Nice. You did this for a fraction of the population. I mean, this does not look like pandering at all. Clown. Honk.
Honk.
Got any? Oh, it's a Gundam. Got any black ones in stock or gunmetal? Oh, that's pretty good. Libs of TikTok. Nobody asked for this. Absolutely nobody. Nobody wanted this.
Somebody just made a comment. It wasn't even somebody asking for it. Ford's like, oh, that was an anti-gay comment. We'll show you. We'll make a very gay truck.
Imagine being so easily manipulated by corporate media. You would buy a truck because that they said the word the gay word on. Yeah, they said the gay word. Please stop. Will you be selling this in Saudi Arabia? Oh, this is Count Dankula. No, we wanted it in manual. Oh, wow. It's an automatic truck. That's lame. Wow.
Oh, I guess they don't believe that gay people can drive manual.
You mean stick?
It was very obvious. I should have went there. I set you up.
I know. It was an alley-oop. It was an alley-oop. Did you see this? I'm not going to get into the whole thing. I just wanted to tell you about it or ask you about it because I thought, like, I had my popcorn out on this one. Florida man was indicted on charges of trying to defraud Matt Gaetz and his family out of $25 million. There's a lot of stuff coming out about this.
25 mil.
Yeah.
Matt Gaetz is he's rolling in it.
Because remember how like they came out and somebody accused them of sexual whatever with a 17-year-old, like with a minor, and then he was like, somebody's trying to frame me and fraud, like there's fraud going on and everything like that. Well, that's related to this. And there's a lot like that investigation's still going on, but because of that investigation, this came out. So this dude was arrested in Florida. It's a crazy story. People need to check this out. Yeah, Florida man. So that was a crazy story. And then I think the other thing that I wanted to ask you about was this one here. Did you see this freaking CRT thing? So this guy's like, I'm angry beyond words. My 3-year-old grandson, whose dad is a high-ranking military officer, just started preschool at military-sponsored program. Click to see the racist chart they made on day 1.
What the
Parents,
hell?
please wake up and act before our kids and nation are ruined for good. So they literally have like a skin color chart where they put the pictures of the kids underneath the skin color in order to segregate them.
This
I
is
mean,
so
that's
bizarre to me. This is so. What about equality? What about I don't know.
it's the most insane thing. I like it.
Yeah.
Like this is where we're going now. Like that preschool, you guys. Like this is a crazy.
We're going backwards.
And the guy's like, I'm angry beyond words. I'm like, yeah, you should be mad because they're like literally brainwashing your kid to see color. These kids don't see color. Like preschool kids don't understand that, like, that you have a different skin tone. Like they don't get that. And now they do because now they're going to be like, wait, you're blacker
Look at
than
this
me?
look at this poor the one kid that's in the he's the only one in the it's the third box there. Like he's he
This
sees
one here?
himself on the chart. Yeah. And
Yeah, he's by himself.
he's the only one. I
Yep.
mean, this doesn't do anything for anybody's self-esteem or confidence or none of this.
No.
What about being I remember back in school, you would have what was like the gold star system where everybody would have their names on the chart and stuff. And
Yep.
I forgot. I don't know if it was like attendance or whatever, but it was on the merit, right? It was on something that you were doing, that you were being, judged by, I suppose you could say. It's like, or ranked or whatever. Like that was the idea, was that like what Martin Luther King Jr. said, that we would be judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin. And that's literally what we're doing here. We're focusing on the color of our skin. Like,
Literally.
this is stupid.
It's a fucking skin color chart. Like, it's like, how the hell? Like, there used to be this thing called the color chart where they teach you the different shades of every color and everything because they want to teach you color theory and, RGB and everything like that. And now they're fucking doing it on skin tones. Take your fucking kids out of school. I can't even deal.
Seriously, if I
can't deal.
I guess if I ever do have kids, they're probably getting homeschooled, I think.
Yeah,
I just don't trust the school system.
I would homeschool too.
I might not have a full college degree, but I just have a feeling that my kids are going to be in better hands.
It's
with
unbelievable.
either me teaching them or my wife. God.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
This is-
and no, you know what? You don't have to do that either, John, because actually we did a breaking the narrative on this a few weeks ago with Teresa and Jane and everything and the script doctor. But we were talking about the education system and stuff like that, and where they have especially because of the pandemic, they started doing this thing where because teaching is a skill, like it's something that you have to develop, and there's a lot of parents that don't understand that that's a skill, and they understand it now because they've had to do it, and they're like,
Sure.
oh fuck, I don't know what I'm doing, and so this thing is coming back where people hire let's say like a very good tutor, and then they do homeschooling with 3 or 4 or 5 kids, or like 6 kids. So if for one teacher, if it's 10 or 15 kids, it's like 2 teachers, and you do like a group kind of like teaching or whatever, so that they can get the benefits of having a teacher and having a classroom setting, but it's in like the people's homes, and they switch per student and everything like that, so that each student can have it in their home and everything. And there's all these different kinds of methods now of schooling your kids. And then if you want to sit on the class, you could, like, if you wanted to, or
Sure.
like, if you don't have a 9-to-5 job and you can spare the time, then you're not teaching them, but you're also like, kind of sitting there and observing and making sure that the person's not an Antifa, person,
Right.
And teaching, indoctrinating your children in your own home, right? Like, it's like.
Speaking of, do we want to just share a little bit of that?
Yeah, sure. Do you have it? What am I sharing?
I think I've got it here. Speaking of teachers that are basically have Antifa flags in their classrooms and are promoting Antifa. Project Veritas exposed this brilliant guy here.
Yeah, this guy. What an idiot.
I have 180 days to turn him into revolutionary.
So he's a teacher.
This guy's a teacher.
This guy is he's got an Antifa flag in his classroom. 180 days to turn him into revolutionaries.
Yeah, I watched this whole thing because Nick Rekieta was doing a live stream on it. This guy's fucked up.
This is why I'm
telling you, man, homeschool your kids.
How do you do that? How do you
scare the fuck out of them? Yeah. Sacramento organization that is
scare the fuck out of that's great, man.
That's great.
You're gosh, this guy we'll see if he gets fired.
Under the banner of Antifa is very loosely organized, right? So that when there is like right-wing rallies and stuff, then we'll create an opposition to that. Yeah.
Beautiful. Where would he go to connect to some of these organizations?
I post a calendar every week. Awesome. And then and I do it for extra credit, so they get points for doing it. So that encourages them to do it. And I've had students show up for protests, community events, tabling, food distribution, also all sorts of things. When they go, they take pictures, they write up a reflection. That's their extra credit. I have an Antifa flag on my wall, and a student complained about that.
Could you imagine if somebody, this is like religious devotion that this guy has.
Totally.
If somebody was promoting their religion within a classroom, which again, it's not the place for it.
Mm-mm.
But why isn't this guy, how is this guy allowed to do this? How has the school not cracked down on this? How has a principal not seen this and said, what the hell are you doing?
My guess is that, it is a high school, so the only thing I can guess is that the fucking principal has their head up their ass or something and doesn't do class visits or barely, comes around to wherever he's teaching his class. Because there's a lot of places that they're large high schools, and sure. I guess you can't go you can't be everywhere.
I just would think that word would get around pretty quick.
But the thing is that he says later on that other people share his views, and because this is where it gets really fucked up, because he starts talking about how other people share his views, and he knows that the staff agrees with him, and it gets bizarre.
He said it made him feel uncomfortable. Well, this is meant to make fascists feel uncomfortable, so if you feel uncomfortable, I don't really know what to tell you. Maybe you shouldn't be aligning with the values that this is antithetical to. So,
such gaslighting.
Yeah.
It's you're a fascist, little kid. The fuck, man?
No. You're a weirdo.
In the 60s was fixing the problem that came about after the economic run. It ultimately failed, right? There was a lot of excesses. People were definitely shot in the streets that probably shouldn't have been.
Incredibly ugly behavior.
He admits the fault with it, but
mm-hmm.
he's still
But
wrong.
he's not so bright. He's not so bright.
come out of this city, and you can see a couple of people over there that might be demonstrating that.
I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries.
How do you do that? How do you
scare the fuck out of them?
Meet Gabriel Geit. He's a public school teacher paid for by taxpayer dollars at Intercom High School in Sacramento, California. Geit, who teaches advanced placement government classes, is not shy about his involvement in Antifa's local chapter. He even has an Antifa flag and a poster of Mao Zedong in his classroom.
Dude,
That's mental.
he's got, I mean, the Antifa flag is one thing, but a freaking poster of Mao? Like,
How, like, I don't understand how the administration would be okay with Mao's picture on the wall. Mind
I
you,
don't even know who he is, these uneducated.
they probably don't. They probably don't.
Like,
These educators probably don't know who he is,
Yeah.
which is saying something in
like,
itself.
oh, cool poster. Like,
Is that the guy in the new Shang-Chi?
So, it's like my wife and I have been political organizers. I've been organizing since I was 13.
Wow.
And I've been in a ton of different organizations. And I've been on the front lines, and I've taken a step back and gone back and forth. And my wife is the same way.
Is there a local Antifa? Or?
I'm sure she's gonna be really happy when you get fired from your job.
She's probably a crazy bitch herself. I mean, if you're gonna marry an Antifa dude, she's probably like an Antifa girl.
That's true.
It's an Antifa world.
I mean,
I wonder if there's like Antifa dating app.
they're like all wearing these masks. You can't even see their faces, or
I mean, yeah, people are questioning his right wife.
Well, they showed the website of the school. Like, this obviously is going to get back to them. You know.
Oh yeah.
And I'm curious what the school is going to do in response. They might not do anything.
Who
Maybe
knows? I mean, it happened with the other lady because she got consequences. Did you hear about the other one?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, she got
I'm like-
consequences. She was removed.
I'm like,
From the
gosh,
classroom.
wow. There's actually some like common sense.
Yeah, they were
in
like,
this
"What's
world."
this nonsense?"
Yeah.
Okay, you out.
Yeah. They knew. I mean, they couldn't defend that. I'm sure a
No.
bunch of parents probably, after they realized, like, that's my daughter's teacher or that's my son's teacher, went to
mhm.
the principal, probably raised Cain and got her fired. And
Yeah.
rightly so.
I mean, I would. I'd be like,
what the hell are you
doing?
Yeah. Why are you teaching stuff like this to my 3 or 4-year-old? Like, what is wrong with you?
Chapter?
Yes. Yeah. I'm the Sacramento organization that is under the banner of Antifa is very loosely organized, right? And like we have no official like member list, right? So like when there is like right wing rallies and stuff, then we'll create an opposition to that. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So and Sacramento, as a city itself is incredibly diverse, but we're surrounded by a bunch of right-wing rednecks. And then the other really big organization in our area that, if you're looking to get involved, is NorCal Resist. NorCal Resist does direct outreach for like undocumented folks. They help them with like material support as well as legal aid and support with the help of National Lawyers Guild. So they work in tandem with each other. So that's why I do like political advocacy events, because I want to get them out in the community. I want to get them familiar with organizations that are doing
Oh my
the type of
God.
work we're doing, how they can be involved, where their passion is, and what they can contribute. Because it's like every single one of us can do something.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to all be on the front lines, but I am asking you to be involved.
What's the word for this guy?
Extortion. This guy. He's extorting
Yeah,
kids.
yeah. He's definitely an extremist. He's certainly, like, this is just
Ruth Saunders says he's on paid leave now, and there are more Veritas videos about it. Well,
Really?
that's good.
He's still getting paid.
He's still getting paid.
Whatever.
What the
Whatever.
fuck?
As long as
But
he's
maybe
away
there's
from
an
the kids.
investigation though, so they're like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
They're probably gonna until they come to some sort
Hopefully
of
they'll be like, oh, fuck this guy. Maybe they'll finally see the Mao thing and be like, brah.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, if they make him take down, so let's say like they actually are, I would say this would be being gracious, is they just tell him like, you can't have a freaking Mao poster in your classroom, and you can't have an Antifa flag in there. You know, he's gonna see that as like, oh, the man is coming down on me. You know, these right. It's like, no, it's just not the place for it, man. Like, I think Antifa, I don't even need to say what I think about Antifa. I'm sure we all share the same opinions about Antifa. The point is just like, there's certain places where your politics or your religion doesn't come into play. You're there to be, to at least try to be as objective as possible without interjecting your, you know, and granted, at some point or another, you know, we're probably like, everybody has a certain bias. It's going to come into play. But however, in this facility, it's like, that's what you're there for.
But honestly, like for me, like this doesn't make me more mad than the preschool thing. Because it's like, if you're seeing that preschool teacher, like the CRT at work over there,
sure,
and you're seeing that like, you know, you're doing that to preschool kids. I mean, really, is it really that far off to have this guy as a high school teacher and him starting to go off about whatever, like his crazy ass beliefs? I mean, it's not like, I mean, the whole system is in complete chaos. I mean, the education system. I mean, if this is, I don't know, I just feel like the indoctrination is going from all grades and all angles now. I mean, they're trying to get them as young as possible, like freaking preschool. So of course, by the time you're in high school, if you're that kid in the preschool and you're like, you know, been indoctrinated with like, you know, skin color charts and all sorts of weird shit, by the time you get to this guy, you're just ripe for the picking, like in terms of like, you know, your mentality and your, the, you know, level of being able to be brainwashed and everything like that. No critical thought, no critical thinking. Like it's just all hand in hand, and it's just so fucking sickening.
Kids are, especially at that age, you are so impressionable.
Exactly.
And when an adult is offering pretty much a means for rebellion and saying that this is, you know, and we've seen videos of Antifa and what they do. It's just like, yeah, kids are going to be attracted to something like Antifa. Not all of them, but you know, for basically what this guy is doing, he's just taking advantage of, he's using the classroom as a pulpit, or you know, as a means to push his own agenda, rather than just teach the curriculum or whatever he should be teaching.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit. Like that's not what taxpayer dollars are going for. It's the same idea as like if somebody was trying to push religion, you know, in between the 7 to you know, 2:30 or whenever the kids get out of school. It's like, that's not, you know, you want you know, religion. Well, you can go to the church down the street or wherever,
or you go to Catholic school.
Yeah, and you know, I suppose it's probably fine for a teacher to talk about that outside of those hours, but while you're there to do a job. Like your job isn't to try to make Antifa disciples. Like that's not what you're there for. That's your own agenda. That's bullshit. Like,
this
could you imagine
sick.
people doing whatever your job is out there on the chat? Could you imagine you're at your job and you're trying to do your own thing at your job? Like if you're a salesman and you're supposed to be selling computers and then you're trying to sell your own shit, like on the clock, like how's that going to go? Like, this is bullshit. Like, do your fucking job. Like, this guy should be fired.
This guy
Like,
should be fired.
there are other people that are certainly more. I'm sure there's a flood. I'm sure the market's oversaturated right now with teachers, and there's somebody way better than this guy.
Definitely.
So much more than just sharing a tweet or posting on Instagram.
Gipe seems eager to get his students actively participating at radical, activist political events. But he takes it one step further by motivating them through extra credit in exchange for their attendance.
People that are interested, or their flyers or something.
No, I post a calendar every week.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So for the organizations that you mentioned, so they can that's dope, man.
And then
See, this is what I mean.
I do.
This is what I mean by extortion. Like,
Yeah.
and so like I do extra credit so that the students get points for doing it. It's like, bruh, like, dude, you're literally extorting these kids because maybe they don't even want to be there, but they're like, but it's extra credit, so I'll just go.
Sure.
Just so I can get the extra credit.
It's
like,
the same shit going
what
on
the
today.
fuck?
Just get a shot, and you can go to your favorite restaurant. You can
Yeah,
go here and
exactly.
there.
Just get
it's
a shot, and then you'll be able to go to all the concerts you want.
Yeah, it's like the carrot. Just put the carrot out in front of people. I mean,
It's fucking mental.
Yeah, this is so stupid.
Credit, so they get points for doing it. Like, so that encourages them to do it. It's like, I can't just, hey, some things they'll never go, right? And I've had like students show up for like protests, community events, tabling, food distribution, all sorts of things. So I since I work with PSL, and PSL has connections with a bunch of other organizations, and also like Sacramento Peace Action, which is like a very old organization that posts a calendar on their website every month of all the events that are going on. And I just put them on my whiteboard, let them know where they are. When they go, they take pictures, they write up a reflection. That's their extra credit.
If you look at these photos from Gipe's classroom, you can see he has an Antifa flag as well as a poster of Mao Zedong, the Chinese dictator who is one of the most notoriously brutal leaders in history, responsible for the death of millions.
I probably as far left as you can go. So like,
oh my god,
I've gone down those deep dark rabbit holes where like the idea of like adventurism and just being like, why aren't people just like taking up arms? Like why? And we have historical taking up arms like against the state. Like and we have historical examples of that happening and them getting crushed and being martyrs for a cause. And it's like, okay, well, it's.
Why is he why does he have a poster of Mao if he's like pretty sure like Mao crushed people? like I'm just having a little difficulty understanding where that was coming from.
This guy has no logic.
It's slow going because it takes massive amounts of organization.
Gipe's radical philosophy is prominent in the teaching in his own classroom. Gipe goes on to say he's not the only teacher at Intercom High School who shares his radical beliefs.
This is
There's a lot of senior parents at this point have backed off, right? So they're just kind of like, well, you can fend for yourself. I know other people in my department who teach like 10th graders who've had like parent meetings, like some, a student who complained about like a pride flag and said that they felt uncomfortable. I've had students, during anonymous surveys at the end of the year, comment about the things that I have in my classroom. Like I have an Antifa flag on my wall.
Like, this guy's not an adult. And I've seen teachers like this too, where if a student disagrees with a teacher, they'll take it personally.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, in my opinion, you are not like, if you can't handle that criticism and still love your students, unconditionally and want the best for them, and you are going to take offense because somebody disagrees with you, like you're just not, you're obviously going to neglect that student, right?
Mm-hmm.
And odds are you're probably not even doing a great job to begin with, but it's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be a teacher, because I could imagine this guy, if somebody criticizes his pride flag or his Antifa flag,
mm-hmm.
as him in his mind, in his eyes, sees that student as less than the other kids. And is probably going to hold some resentment because somebody has different opinions than him. Like a 15 or 16 or 17-year-old kid has different opinions. And because this guy is so insecure, he's going to have a little personal vendetta against
This
that
guy's
student.
calling him out, like saying you're a fascist if you think differently.
Yeah. Like,
he's like, if you have a problem with that, then you're a fascist. Like,
yeah, at this point, you're just
huh.
sure you're in terms of age, but emotionally, you are not an adult. You are not.
No, this guy's arrested
qualified.
in development.
Yeah, you're not qualified to hold this position.
Yeah,
and I've seen that. I've seen that where teachers, they're just not. They don't necessarily have that level of emotional maturity to teach, because it's like, if a good teacher doesn't doesn't, like, for crying out loud, they're kids. Like, you don't have that sort of bias towards, if they disagree or have different beliefs than you. Like, they're kids, for crying out loud. Like, I don't know. Like, this is like, you should be emotionally secure in your own position to where you don't judge people, especially kids and students, like, on that framework. Now, of course, yeah, I'm going to judge this guy. He's a full grown adult. But if I had a classroom of kids and one of the kids was an Antifa radical, I wouldn't like look down on them. I would just think, it's like, well, obviously there's something has happened here. It's not per se like their fault. But
I'll just be like, here, go read this book. It's called Animal Farm.
Well, there's, it's like, the idea is like, they're still kids. Like, they're it's like, they're not,
their minds are still developing.
Yeah. When you're a kid, it's like, basically this guy should know better, and that's why
he knows. And that's why he wants to indoctrinate them.
Yeah. And that's what's so ridiculous about it. It's just like, you're pretty much taking advantage of for your own personal agenda. Kids, like, this is so wrong. You are like, he is completely unqualified to be a teacher. I mean, all right.
And a student complained about that, and he said it made him feel uncomfortable. And I addressed it to everyone because I didn't know who it was. And I was like, well, this is meant to make fascists feel uncomfortable. So if you feel uncomfortable, I don't really know.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, dude, who says that? Like, what the fuck? Just because you don't agree with me, and like, it's like, John, if you don't like my poster of Major there in all her glory, then you know what? Fuck your wife. Piece of shit. You're so sexist. My God. Can't handle it.
Yeah,
how do you not like this?
I never said I didn't like it.
No, I know. I'm just saying, if you said you didn't,
yeah,
it's like me being like, well, if you don't, then you're just a sexist piece of shit, and you can go fuck yourself. Like, it's like, no, I just don't like Ghost in the Shell. I just don't like Antifa. Like, what the fuck? Like, does it mean that I'm a white supremacist or I'm a fascist because I don't like fucking Antifa? Which, by the way, is not a fucking, they're not an organization that's against fascism. They're an organization that's about their type of fascism. Okay. Right. It's like, if you don't believe in my type of fascism, then, fuck you. You're a fascist. It's like, no, bro. No, you're doing the same shit. You're doing the same shit as Mao.
Everybody's a fascist to these people. Like, everybody else. You could. I mean, the slightest offense, you're a fascist.
I know,
like,
right? It's like that song.
Do
you remember that song? Like, everybody I don't like is literally Hitler.
Yep. I knew you were going
let
there.
me quickly get this super chat because the chat is totally jumping on me. John Burns, thank you so much for the $5. Says, a teacher wanting to turn students into revolutionaries reminds me of a TV show where a teacher burned hair because of a nuclear weapons in the 80s. Oh my God. What TV show is that? And he also says, for $2, thank you again, says, that's all very interesting, but this is PE class. This is a PE class. Didn't he say he was a math teacher or something?
That didn't look like it. Didn't like a physical ed class. Like it looked like a literal like a classroom. So
yeah, I don't know. I thought he was.
I mean,
a
if it is like even more so, it's like like you're really out of your element, even more so.
No kidding. But yeah, I think that was it. Oh no, here we go. There's another one. Thank you, John, for $2. Says, can he be arrested for grooming? Seriously, he should be. This is some messed up shit. Like he's literally like indoctrinating kids into becoming what is that word? Like radicals, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he's radicalizing them. Like that's exactly what we hear. Like, I mean, I joke about how Gary from Nerdrotic radicalized me, but this guy's literally radicalizing kids. Like it's like, let's burn some shit down, kids. If we don't get our way, let's go burn some shit down. That's because that's what they think, right? I mean, that's pretty much all they do is just go and cause havoc around everywhere. I don't know. Does Antifa do anything differently other than burn shit?
Yeah, I mean, they're not necessarily like they've never promoted themselves as a group or it's not about peace. Like
no,
they've never branded themselves like all they do is cause destruction.
Well, maybe peace through war. I don't know. Like how like some people say those really fucked up, crazy things like we'll bring peace through war and like through destruction. It's like is that what they're going for? I don't really know. Echo Base Network, thank you so much for the $9.99. Says John, where have your live streams been, brother? You taking a break? Love seeing you guys streaming together. Also, Biden sucks. That is all.
What's up, Echo? Good to see you. I think that might be Nick. I'm not sure if it's or Coach, but hey, it's good to see you. Yeah, I was taking a little bit of a break, but we're coming back.
He's back-ish, and we're gonna be back soon with Infinite Talk as well. Because I just invited him on Breaking the Narrative so that we can just like yep, it's Nick. There he is. Hi, Nick. What's up, Nick? So he just decided to come hang out with me because we just really needed to catch up. And then soon we're going to start Infinite Talk again. So that'll be really fun. Infinite Talk is awesome. But thank you so much for the $10, Nick. I appreciate you. And Biden does suck. Freaking Biden, man. That guy sucks. Okay, let's hear the rest of this.
So, maybe you shouldn't be aligning with the values that this is antithetical to.
I wonder if this guy ever thinks that he could be wrong, like that perhaps his values, like, I don't know, like, does it ever, I guess, does any like shade of doubt ever come into his mind? I doubt it.
I doubt it. These people are such narcissists. They don't think like anything is wrong with them. They think like everything else is wrong with everybody else in the world. And there's nothing wrong with me. Like there's no internal, reflection. Like they usually don't do that. And the ones that do usually end up waking up and then they're like, oh my God, what have I done with my life? And then they're like, they instant regret.
Yeah. Or it's like, holy crap, all these people are crazy. Like I'm around a bunch of crazy people, or like usually it's like some extremists so it's like, sure, somebody comes into the group because extremism, especially at a certain age, can be very attractive. The idea of like being like gung-ho about something and passionate, but there comes a point where then you have somebody who's even like way more extreme than you. That's like talking like really crazy. Or a bunch of other people doing that, and then it kind of makes you be like,
you're like, boy, do I sound like that?
Yeah, like, you know what? I don't really know if I agree with that, or it's like, I think that's how it is for some people.
I agree,
and you're like, okay, some of these people are mentally unhealthy, unstable. I'm just gonna like just go out the back door there. But yeah,
By the way, I agree with Mason, though. I think this 100% this guy's written up students for disagreeing with him. Like, I think he's definitely like he's given F's out or whatever. Like, I don't think he grades right. Like, I don't think he grades based on the merit of the student or the performance that they put. And it's like who's getting, you know, close to my ideology and thinking the way I do, that person's getting an A, and the person that's not doing that is getting a fucking F. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
that's what this
or a lower,
thinks.
you know, or a lower grade, right? Like
Yeah.
There's definitely, it seems like I wouldn't doubt that there is that sort of bias going on where people that, you know, seem to agree with him or whatever, like he's that type of person. He's not, and being a teacher, like you need to be fair. You know, it's just, you need to be.
You have to be. That's part of being a teacher.
Right. It's not.
See, a good teacher is as hard to find as an honest mechanic. I'm telling you, good teachers are really hard to find. They're special. So if you have if you think about it yourself, right? Like when you think back to all your years of being in school, do you have that one teacher that's like made that memorable experience for you, right? Like how many of those people do you have? That's the key, right? Like, because of all the years of like, you know, you go into school, depending on who you are and how many years you've gone to school, it's probably a handful, maybe not even of the memorable teachers that you've had in your life that you're like, you know, really influenced you. Everybody else is fucking idiot.
Yeah, I mean, how many? I mean, they're just kind of like there, just collecting the check, right? Like, maybe they set out with good intentions and they're just, or maybe they never did. I don't know. Some people make you wonder, like, why did you even sign up for this in the first place?
That's exactly what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago when we're doing the whole thing on schools and education, because, you know, I was saying like a lot of them, you know, come out of teaching school being like, yeah, I'm going to go and I'm going to be the best teacher ever. And they get involved in the system and then they realize that the system is a total joke. And then they become like alcoholics because they'll just start drinking because they'll just be like so depressed that they can't actually do anything in the system that is you know, putting them down, especially now with the whole like COOF thing and the whole, you know, masking the teachers for 8 hours and having certain expectations from them and you know, to keep the kids apart and all the things that they've had to go through in the past 2 years has been absolutely, like a year and a half. It's been absolutely, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I can't imagine even trying to be a teacher now. I'm curious though, for the chat and Nina, how many teachers stand out in your mind that you feel really made a difference in your life? You know, like where you could just, they come to mind instantly, where you don't necessarily have to try to really think about.
Two,
you know?
for me, like literally two, actually three.
Yeah, I have one specifically. But I had a few, I feel like I had a few other like good teachers and people that like took the time out to encourage me in certain things. But yeah, it's a handful. Like it's not, you know, it's rare. I don't know. I don't know if it's like maybe you're 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20, but it's, I guess, you know, it's just rare to have a teacher that is exceptional.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's like anything though. I mean, exceptional or things that are great are, I guess,
hard to find.
Rare. Yeah.
Yeah. The Trini Gamer, thank you so much for the $3 fist bump sticker. It's a pair. It's giving us fist bumps. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, like handful. One remembers the name too, Mr. Jenkins. One, I remember two and moments from others. That's interesting. Ecclesiastes 5, 2 and 1 cartoon. Okay. Well, cartoons teach you stuff too. So Stunt Brad says 4 or 5. Yeah, I had like 3. I would say 3.
I mean, that's not. I guess that's not bad. Like
I had one that actually, like, I'll even show you this. This one, I grew up. He was my original art teacher, like from very early age, like 1, 2, like because we were family friends. And he drew this. He's passed away now. So he drew this for me in Iran, and I still remember that he he had this art because he worked at our daycare at my school, and he had drawn, I'll never forget this, because he had drawn like a wall mural of the earth with like mermaids going around it, like holding hands, and they were like all different colored mermaids and everything like that, because he was trying to say like, we're all connected and blah blah blah.
Then he put them on a shade chart and distinguished them by. No, I'm kidding.
No. It was even worse than that, actually. It was, and he got, because he would paint this, because this is like his art style. He would paint, and
he's good. Yeah,
he was amazing. And then he would get us kids to help him paint the wall murals.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
So then we were helping him paint the wall murals, and then the Islamic government of Iran came over and was like, "Hey, what are you painting over there? That shit is not allowed. You need to get rid of that shit." And they made us paint over it because they didn't like the nudity and the lack of hijab on the wall for the mermaids. So they didn't allow him to keep it up, and we had to paint over it. And I'll never forget that, because it was one of the most.
Did you help paint over it too?
Yeah, we had to.
Oh my gosh,
we all
that's
had
sad.
to paint over it. But then he painted something else, and then we helped him paint again. But I love that painting. Like, I love that, like, the idea. So I was like heartbroken, and I remember I was like crying and being like, why do we have to paint over it? And I was like, I hate Iran. Like, I don't want to live here. It was like this whole thing. And he was like, well, don't get me fired. Like, stop talking. But anyways, yeah, I mean, God rest his soul. He was a good man. So I'll never forget him. And that my other teacher that I told you about, that taught me about, actually got me to read Animal Farm instead of The Lord of the Flies, because he was like, you need to actually learn something, because he was a history teacher, and then they had, in my school, they had a teacher shortage in Canada, and like in that time, so they made like every teacher teach like 2 or 3 different classes, even if it wasn't your kind of class. So like I remember like our PE teacher started teaching us like home ec and like fucking English and like whatever else, right? So this dude was a history teacher, and they're like, he was like, they're making me teach English, and if I have to fucking sit here and teach you guys fucking nouns and bullshit, you're gonna learn through Animal Farm, like through what I want to teach, which is history, and I'm gonna teach you about communism. And I was like, okay, like, so somehow it worked out in my life that I learned about communism so early. But yeah, so what about your
you lived
teacher?
about totalitarian regimes and firsthand.
I know,
It
right?
wasn't even, you weren't taught in just you literally experienced that.
Yeah, I was so, oh my God. Patrick Bateman says, tell us have your best interests at heart, Nina. Yeah, so does the government. So does the government.
You just have to close your mind and believe.
Yeah, and big pharma.
Stop thinking. Your problem is you're thinking. Once you stop thinking,
I know,
and accept what you're being told.
I just need to shut off my mind. It's like, why can't I just do that? It would be so easy. It's like a Cypher in the Matrix, right? Like, ignorance is bliss. I just want to go back and like not know all the stuff I know.
Yeah, I mean, once you go through the re-education camps, you just have this epiphany, and you're like, oh wow. No, Big Brother though, or rather 1984. That I watched that movie not too long ago, and that movie, it's watch that movie pre-COVID and watching it now.
Have you seen V for Vendetta?
I haven't watched. I've seen scenes from it. I should watch it.
Yeah, you should watch that because that is also that's like another one that's like very similar stuff, but it's also very good because it is hopeful. It teaches you that you can get away from it, if you only know how, and who has the power, the people.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should definitely watch that. But guess what? We've been going for freaking 3 hours. Time has flown by. Like it always does. We should have maybe just done Infinite Talk tonight. But yeah, it's just it's absolutely been a freaking pleasure to talk to you again, John.
Yeah, likewise, Tina.
Yeah, oh my God, you do need to see V for Vendetta. There you go. So you have homework for next week. No, I'm just joking.
I know he uses a lot of V words. It's based off of a graphic novel by Alan Moore. I've seen quite a bit of the movie. I just haven't seen the entire thing.
Okay, yeah. Watch the whole thing.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's one of Natalie Portman's best performances, other than like Black Swan or whatever. But I thought she did really good.
Speaking of, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Great performances. I watched Vice yesterday about Dick Cheney.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Did you see it?
No, because I was like, I fucking hate this guy. Why would I want to watch the movie about him?
Sure.
But I've heard it's really good. So
yeah, I mean, it's the performances are like just to watch a movie for performances alone. Like if you're just into watching films for that, it's pretty amazing what Christian Bale does. I know he thanks Satan for, was he literally thanking Satan or was he thanking Dick Cheney?
Wait, are you saying Dick Cheney was thanking Satan, or are you saying that Christian Bale?
I think when he won the Golden Globe, he thanked Satan.
Oh no!
So I don't like. I guess
is he into like some weird shit now? Oh no!
I don't know. Well, like as inspiration for playing the role of Dick Cheney or not, I don't know. But then after I watched the film, I checked out Wikipedia, and there was a lot of like mixed.
I'm sorry, but that's funny.
Yeah, not so much. But it turns out, I don't know. Sometimes it makes you wonder, but it turns out that like a lot of the stuff in the movie it's not necessarily, it's not like grounded in complete reality though either. The film takes a lot of liberty in between like certain events and things. So it's kind of like you don't necessarily know what to believe. Obviously, I think going into Iraq, we had no business going in Iraq. I think Cheney did it for personal reasons. It seems like they were dead set into going in into Iraq, and it had nothing to do with Osama bin Laden or terrorism. Yeah. So, I would say it's, you watch it, but not everything in the film is like, is gospel truth. They definitely took a lot of liberties.
You know what I did watch that's kind of close to the same vein is I think it was called W.
Josh Brolin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did watch that. And I thought Josh Brolin did a really good job. I thought that was a really good depiction of George W.
I think what the hell is his name? I think Sam Rockwell. He plays Bush in this one. And he's pretty good. He's pretty good as Bush.
Was he good?
Yeah, I mean they made him.
Maybe I'll watch it.
They kind of made him. They made him look like a buffoon who Cheney manipulated,
which is pretty much true, though.
It does seem that way, and I, granted, you look at George Bush, and some of like it just seemed like he was. It did look like Cheney was running things from behind the scenes. I think that much is true as well.
Oh, here
he was doing quite a bit.
I have a George W. Bush clip. Here, check this out.
But that's okay. If this were a dictatorship, it'd be a heck of a lot easier. Just so long as I'm the dictator.
Oh gosh.
This will be so much easier as long as I'm the dictator.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. Not really, but still.
What a
Hey,
mess.
it's dude. You know what the weirdest thing is? Me and my husband were talking about it the other night. Is and like because we're Middle Eastern, so it wasn't a fun time for us at all. Like at the time, and you know what was going on at you know going into the States and like being asked like all these weird questions when we're going to the States and getting felt up all the time and you know all that kind of stuff with the TSA. We were like, you know, long gone are the days, and we actually are kind of missing those days where we get felt up by a TSA agent, and that was like our only worry. Or you know that they would make you take your shoes off while you're going through like you know the metal detector thing or whatever. And now it's like, oh, they want freaking Vax Pass and like you know all this weird shit, and you're like,
yeah,
can we just go back to
that.
like those days? Like you know, I kind of miss like those days. It's weird, and it's just the weirdest thing because like back then it was so bizarre. I was like, this is a fucked up world. Like you know, post 9/11 is just like. It was next level. And then now I'm like, can we just go back to that? Like, I'm cool with getting felt up at the TSA. Like,
I'll take that. I'll take that.
I mean, they used to, I don't know. It's just so bizarre. I don't know. It's just so bizarre.
It is. It's a weird world.
And on that note, we're going to end the show. Everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight, hanging out with me and John. It's been way too long, and I hope that we do it again soon. And thank you, everybody who pressed the membership button, especially you guys, and also press the super chats because that's always like I'm so thankful for you guys being so generous. But not only that, all of you who are just watching, being in the chat, having conversations. And just like, you know, just hanging out with us, like you, Salty Parrot says, I remember those days with some salt. Or you saying, Alame? Thank you. Says, I love Bush's Fool Me Once. I know. I love that thing too. That was so funny.
It was
I mean, it's so weird. Like we miss him. Oh, you know what? Before we go, I'll share this funny thing that I saw because it's related to the whole Bush thing. And it was really, really funny for me. It says, wait, go to profile because I shared it. It said, name this band, wrong answers only. And I freaking died because this was like, I was just going through the thread.
Yeah, let's
the Bush Boys,
Fleetwood Iraq.
Deep Shit Mode, Avenged 9/11 Steely Beam Dan, Nuclear Strategy, says Elaine, freaking Nerd Cookies dropping a bomb there. The Killers, Stereo WMDs, Cheney's Addiction, Rage Against the People, Bad Religion. This guy is what the fuck? The All American Rejects, the Unknown Unknowns, the Known Unknowns. Somebody said the Weapons of Mass Destruction, with which that was the first thing that came to my mind. Or like the WMDs. George Thorboard and the Destroyers. I like that one. We got Yankaholic saying the Neogons. That's good stuff. So the Notorious WMD. I like that. I like that one. My Chemical Weapon. Machines Against the Rage. Oh man. And it goes on. The Goats. Yeah, right. Oh my God.
Megadeth.
So yeah, that was funny. And I had to, since we were on that topic. But again, thank you everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Catch us again next Wednesday. Well, I'll be here next Wednesday. And John and I will be back probably the following Wednesday, and we will hang out. We will talk again. And so good night, everybody. Have a good night. Have a fantastic week. John, do you have anything coming up?
Probably just more videos.
Okay.
So
So everybody subscribe to John Talks. All of his links are in the description down below. And as for me, you can catch me here Friday when I do Infinite Hope and balance this show out. So so hang out with me on Friday. Let me find something to go out on.
You do got a super chat. One more super chat.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Oh,
From
John Burns. Thank you so much. Says our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about the new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we. Well, you know what? We gotta be that. We gotta be resourceful. We gotta be creative. That's how you can fight back. Fight back with your art. Fight back with your writing. Fight back with creating things. Put your voice out into the world. If you have a YouTube channel, if you want to get into YouTube, or just make an Odyssey even better, get out there, get your voice out there, be heard. John encouraged me. John was a guy that, when I started this whole thing, he was like, dude, you need to talk, you need to have a channel. I started out in his chats. So, now here I am. I won't shut up. It's been 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 9 minutes. And Ron says, invite Cecil. Dude, I tagged him. If he wants to come hang out with Nina Infinity, he's more than welcome. Cecil's awesome. I would love to talk to him. But yeah, so get out there and create. That's what we got to do. I know. Fuck this guy. I know. But that's the thing. It's just he has a lot of that. That's interesting.
Echo Base. He's got a
Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for the $9.99. Go support the effort to rescue the service dogs left by the Biden administration. Absolute disgrace. I know those poor dogs are going to be turned against Americans now. That's really sad.
Biden's going to lose voters. He's
just
gonna lose
based
his
on
dogs.
Those dogs. Yeah.
People, understandably, people love
dogs.
Like
dogs.
And,
But you know what though? NBC doesn't think so. NBC was calling the Americans out. You didn't see that one?
No.
I forgot to go over this one though. Oops. Fuck you, NBC. NBC was like, our experts said Americans don't give a shit. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, NBC. Polls Americans back end Afghanistan war, but not fault Biden's execution. They go on to say basically that Americans don't really give a shit about. So the poll says that experts are saying that they're not going to care. That Americans are not going to care about. Basically, foreign policy doesn't do anything about elections. If next year is a foreign policy election, something very bad happening, and it isn't anything from this month. One Democratic operative who doubts voters will remember Afghanistan in a year, and said in text messages, Republicans are just bouncing from the thing to the thing, which is what you do, I guess. Basically saying though that Americans aren't going to remember this, and that they're not going to care in a year's time.
This is going to be a stain
when the time comes.
For some Americans, I think so, but I think overall, people will not forget those images, and it's going to be a stain on his presidency. I do think it's better that it happened in his first year than in an election year. This would have looked really bad in an election
If this was next year, if this was the election year, they definitely would remember. But they're saying that you guys have short-term memories and that you're going to forget this in a year's time.
They're not completely wrong, but this definitely isn't helping Biden either.
No,
it's not going to help.
It's not. But I don't know if they're going to remember the doggies in a year's time. That's what they're saying anyway.
Trump never left dogs behind.
That's true. I mean, there was also that whole picture with the with Biden looking at his watch at that poor guy's funeral. And there's a juxtaposed picture of Trump with his hand like this as as like the coffin
real
is there and everything.
commander-in-chief.
Yeah, like I mean, that was just so man. Yeah, somebody just said it's gonna get worse before it gets better. That's true.
I mean, Trump, he had COVID-19 hit his, in an election year, his election year.
Yeah,
If
Echo
Biden
Bay
has-
says we won't forget. I hope not.
I'm not going to forget. I mean, this is a colossal, not like Biden had any chance of me voting for him, but I mean, this is just a colossal, it just looks like a colossal.
Well, see, and one of the things is actually your channel, John. Your channel is kind of like a video diary of what's going on, like, on a day-to-day basis, so that in a year's time or in 2 years' time, we can, look back and like, a year ago, hey, look, these are the things that they said, like in Afghanistan, and like, look at like, what Jen Psaki said about the dogs, and, like all these different things. So in a way, what you're doing, you are actually doing a service to your country by making these kind of videos, because that's what's going to, be remembered in a year's time. It's like, that's when you got to do like flashback videos. Hey, flashback, like, remember this that I put
No, that's a good point.
last year?
Yeah.
So-
And I think I've come to realize a little bit more that these videos, especially if people are sharing them and they get out there, even just highlighting Biden's incompetence in a number of ways is going to cause some people to think twice about.
Exactly.
I know he's not Trump, and that's the only reason people voted for him, but at some point or another,
no
you gotta
one's
say,
ever
like,
gonna be like Trump again, because Trump wasn't a politician. So
yeah.
that's
I'm saying for the people that hated Trump.
oh, okay, I see what you mean.
I'm
I see
like
what you mean.
but looking at this president, if
Mhm.
you just
Right.
got to ask yourself, like, is this the best decision for America? I mean, this Afghanistan thing is a reflection, in my opinion, of Biden.
And
It's him.
this right here, this is the truth. We have an election this month, Canadians. Please, I mean, at this point, honestly, I'm with Chris Sky. It really doesn't matter who you vote for, but if you are going to vote, if you're into voting, if you're into it, I'd highly recommend voting for the CPP, because at least they have a different strategy. At least they don't want to mandate vaccines, and at least they don't want to, lock us down again. At least they're saying the complete opposite as the freaking NDP and the freaking liberals and the conservatives. So consider voting for the CPP if you are into voting in Canada. I highly recommend at least you looking into their policies if you want something different than what's going on now in our neck of the woods. But again, thank you everyone for joining us. Please join us again next week, and catch you this Friday on Infinite Hope. Take care, everyone. Have a great night.
Love you all. Take care.
Bye.
I think that allowing for the book being, after all, a parody, something like 1984 could actually happen. This is the direction the world is going in at the present time. In our world, there will be no emotions except fear, rage, triumph, and self-abasement. The sex instinct will be eradicated. We shall abolish the orgasm. There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power. Always, at every moment, there will be the thrill of victory, the sensation of trampling on an enemy who is helpless. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. The moral to be drawn from this dangerous nightmare situation is a simple one. Don't let it happen. It depends on you.